gather round, ladies and gentlemen too, as I tell you a tale that's rather quite new. A tale of a fountain that's covered in red, and the heroes without whom I'd surely be dead. Evil House Greenwood had cast in their lot. Against our fair cities these nobles now fought. Down did they march to our holiest site, a green flood of evil and might. Here's to the fallen of Temple Square, the fountains run red with blood. And here's to the watch, their might is unmatched, the 5 who fought back the flood. 3 did stand from Whitehall that morn, 3 whose honor could never be torn. But while most did feed the fountain that day, 2 others did stand that death could not sway. While citizens scattered, they answered the call, with little doubt ringing that they surely would fall. Yet still did they stand, and still did they fight, that green flood of evil and might. Here's to the fallen of Temple Square, the fountains run red with blood. And here's to the watch, their might is unmatched, the 5 who fought back the flood. From the shrine of the gods there came a blur, the Genasi strode quick, and no step did slur. A whirl of sharp knives was his claim to fame, and you can bet Victor's his name. Shortly behind came a strong orcish lad, Ezra's heritage bemixed, but his strength ironclad. He drew back his bow with Attributions' true skill, and his arrow struck the first kill. Here's to the fallen of Temple Square, the fountains run red with blood. And here's to the watch, their might is unmatched, the 5 who fought back the flood. The pair fought like demons alongside our kin, the blade and the arrow to save all our skins. But Greenwood charged in with unmatchable might, victory was sure in their sight. Then came the rumbling of bounder claws, the war cry of Eve gave our enemy pause. The Paladin roared and charged in the fray, her javelin sailing forth in a dazzling display. Here's to the fallen of Temple Square, the fountains run red with blood. And here's to the watch, their might is unmatched, the 5 who fought back the flood. Shortly behind and not overshone, a woman who claimed fallow shield her home. Seredan attacked with mesmering song, that her foes would not hear for long. Last to the aid, a being of pure steel, resounding steps that the whole square could feel. Bolt's fist flew forward with a thunderous crack, and together helped drive the flood back. Here's to the fallen of Temple Square, the fountains run red with blood. And here's to the watch, their might is unmatched, the 5 who fought back the flood. The 5 fought hard and they struggled so long, their skills more than one could capture in song. By the time the Arcanum had entered the fray, our heroes had won the day. House Greenwood discovered, upon their great fall, that heroes always answer the clarion call. They'll fight back the evil that threatens the land, and never kneel when they can stand. So here's to the fallen of Temple Square, the fountains run red with blood. And here's to the watch, their might is unmatched, the 5 who fought back the flood. The Ballad of the Bloody Fountain by Alexander Dawn.
Hi, Welcome to Tales of Aneria, Session 20! So happy it's 20.
What a milestone.
Yeah, here's to another 20, and 2 more, and then 10 more after that. That'll be a whole year worth, whatever. Anyway, yeah, love it. But we're going to go ahead and jump in tonight. Everybody hopefully heard the recap. It might have been fun. It might not have. We don't know yet. I haven't completely written it, so I hope it was good enough for you.
Is it a Hamilton-style rap?
If so, I am sold.
Okay,
And you just came 20 times more sexy.
Okay, wow. 20 times my charisma. It's like a Gauntlets of Ogre Power, but it's Gauntlets of Rap or something. The microphone of rap. Your charisma becomes 20. No, it's
Miranda belt.
now it sounds like if it's not. You guys realize that now if it's not like a Hamilton rap, it doesn't sound good. Everybody gets happy in the comments. But yeah, we'll go ahead and get back into it. You guys have been, despite wanting to leave Terrebonne yesterday, stuff happened. The Wayward Watch had to stay in Terrebonne an extra day for celebrations and to get awards and rewards and everything, and now it's the start of the next morning.
So we had a long rest.
Yes, everybody can take a long rest.
Good, I was pretty beat up.
Yeah, I went through everybody's character sheets after the game last time, and it was rough.
Yeah.
I put you guys through the grinder, and I put everybody else through the grinder that watched it last time too, so hopefully it wasn't too destructive. But yeah, so here we are. Everybody kind of gets down for a nice morning meal at the Satin Cat. Janjin is still... She gave you a little bit of guff for coming back after you said goodbye immediately, making it feel not so heartfelt.
Of course she did.
Yeah, but you guys settled that, and now you are eating breakfast, and and I believe Eve received something during the evening. Is that correct? Now, did you want to read that off, or did you want me to?
I will read it.
Okay.
Everyone, I received a message from Lady Crestor. She said, "My dear Wayward Watch, you have surpassed my expectations. While I was hoping to come out in a favorable position during negotiations for the High Seat, thanks to your efforts with the Infinite Sight, your heroics at the Battle of the Bloody Fountain, a horrendous name to be sure, but one which is catching on, has allowed me a much greater control over the direction of my city."
Emperor Palpatine, dude.
Yeah.
I have been a little worried about that.
It's fine. It's cool. Let's move on.
Fine, we'll just take everything.
I am the Senate.
With my new position at the High Seat, I have already begun efforts to bring the Arcanum into the matter of the Infinite Sight, and informed them that my champions will be investigating the matter as well. If you are in a situation where the Arcanum is questioning you, simply show my crest and they should leave you alone.
Well, what was this at the beginning?
Do not abuse this power. Ezra?
She specifically names Ezra.
Was that you or
That was
Preston?
That was Eve. In addition, I know young Seredan has been quite concerned with the state of the Long Road and its defense. While the noble houses work to determine the fate of House Greenwood and their role in our kingdom, I have been authorized to hire temporary guards to manage the road. I will be reviewing options, and hopefully we can have a more permanent presence soon. While you have already received your reward as heroes of the events yesterday, I wanted to extend my formal gratitude for your efforts. I will admit that I was skeptical to bring you on at first, merely considering it to keep Ezra close to protect him from the sight, but when word reached me of your heroics at Bell's Watch, I knew you would do great things. Apparently, even that expectation was surpassed these last few days. You are well worth the cost of business, and I have no doubt that Thulian Kral will soon tremble to hear you are coming for him. If the exorbitant cost the captain of the airship sent to my subordinates is any indication, you have quite the relaxing trip ahead of you. I was going to recommend you select a different airship with a more standardized cost, but I believe I can allow for the extra luxury for my champions. Guess? I better get my feet rubbed or something. Enjoy your time and give Ruby my best, but be sure not to forget your mission. The eyes in the sand are still out there, plotting their next move against us both. Be safe and report back any information you find. While I will be limited, my correspondent limiting. I'm not supposed to be.
Yeah, limiting, I think is.
My Lady Crestor, she had one tiny grammatical error.
Freaking autocorrect.
While I will be limiting my
magic quill.
correspondence moving forward, considering my new responsibilities, this communication method will be monitored by my trusted agents. Best of luck, High Chancellor Bellana Crestor. Oh, snap.
Yes. We shall be watching your career with great interest.
PPS, I love democracy.
Oh boy.
Something,
You ever
something,
heard of
something,
the
dark side,
tragedy
something,
of
something,
John
something, complete.
Plagueis the Wise?
I don't mind being a Sith.
Let's do it.
You see what you have done
Yeah,
to
exactly.
her.
It's still like guilt is just.
Look for the path
Tory
of
doesn't
the,
mind
the
them.
Grey Jedi.
Eve's gonna like pull the sword out and he's gonna ignite with red flame. Like, well,
Whoopsies.
okay.
You could buy a flame blade.
Just gotta kill you.
So I believe the first thing you guys wanted to do was go for a little bit of a shopping trip.
Shopping trip.
You have some gold on you, and you want to spend it before you leave. So yeah, so let's go ahead and get to that. Let's start with. Well, I think Seredan's going to be the easiest. Is there anything that Seredan wishes to buy?
She's just gonna be window shopping.
Okay.
Right now.
Making a wish list for later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I spent all of my money previously, so
Okay.
I'm still in saving mode right now.
All right. What about Ezra?
I'm looking for a magical tattoo shop.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna look for bracers of archery.
Okay. Those are both easy enough to find. I believe the bracers of archery are they'll be just kind of your standard. You can go to Wellspring
Okay.
house and find it there. The tattoo, you do have to kind of go down a few streets to kind of find the proper parlor. It's called the Spider to the Fly is the name of the tattoo parlor, and you
Wait,
go in
the
there.
what?
The Spider to the Fly.
To the fly. Okay.
And there is an elven man in there who is covered like head to toe in tribal ink. And he goes, "Are you looking for something specific, magical, non-magical?"
Definitely magical. I have something in mind. Recently, in the last fight, I got kind of beat up, and looking for a way to maybe lessen the blow, if it were, as it were.
All right. Well, I can go ahead and provide you a little bit of extra magical protection if you want. Feel free to sit down in the chair.
How bad does it hurt?
It depends on how strong you are.
All right.
So what you roll on your constitution.
Not that strong. I have a 0, but we'll try it out.
All right. So you get in the chair, and I guess the question is, where is this tattoo? What does it look like?
Does
Or
it
do you wanna
have to
just-
be what's in the picture?
It doesn't have to be what's in the picture if you don't want it.
He wants a tramp stamp.
I think I would do like a half
He can only
sleeve.
Okay.
turn around and use it.
And so basically the tattoo, the one from the book, it's like the shield spell essentially, but instead of buffing your AC, it lets you like reduce the damage.
Yeah.
And it's only a certain amount of charges.
You'll see it
So
right.
I was thinking of like maybe like a half of a shield or something as a tattoo, and
cool.
then like you can throw it up and like magically like or something like that, like two
Oh,
halves of
yeah.
Ooh, Constantine style, yeah. Two halves of a tattoo, and then when he goes like that, it's like a shield or
Perfect.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do that.
So he pulls out this kind of long golden needle, and he taps it a few times against this jar, and it just starts glowing, and then he just starts. And it's old time tattoo, and every time he like dips in the ink glows. What color do you want this tattoo to be?
Ooh, let's just do black, but when it's magically activated, it'll have that like Ezra orangish glow.
Yep. So it just adapts to your magic.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll me a Constitution check. Let's
let's
see how painful that is.
A 9.
A 9. It hurts, but you're a Tushin master.
I'm trying not to
Yeah.
cry. I'm just like holding it in.
And during the time he is talking about like other people, like, oh, don't worry about it. We had a Goliath in here the other day who bawled like a little, He did tell you the price before you began. By the way,
right.
300 gold for that. And then I believe how much did I say the bracers of archery were?
Get Discord real quick. You can edit this out.
Yeah.
I think you said 250.
Yeah, probably 250. Yep. 250 for that.
250. Yep. Oh no. Yeah, 250.
Okay. And he goes.
So
after about, let's say, like an hour and a half, and if anybody like wants to just be there to watch Ezra getting the tattoo, that's fine.
If you're
That's
watching, then I'm really trying not to make a face, but on the inside, I'm like screaming.
Sarah is watching. She's fascinated.
Would you like some vodka? It'll take the edge off.
That's rule number 1 of something you're not supposed to.
You pour it on the
I'm
tattoo.
I'm pretty
The elf
sure.
is like, yeah, that's right, and then he takes a drink.
Pretty sure it'll be
crap.
fine.
Make sure your lines are straight. please.
Don't worry, it's just Meadstead mead. Can't get you that drunk.
Is this a discount tattoo parlor? I'm really nervous.
It's a tattoo of the Voider. He gets the name wrong.
Every
Just-
time you activate it, it makes like a farting noise. Or something. It still works.
Yeah, it
It's
still
just
works.
like-
It's
This is a slow, long fart. Oh man.
Does anybody else
Worst
get
tattoo.
a tattoo while they're here? It doesn't have to be magical if you just want a tiny little non-magical tattoo. Or magical in the way of
Just
like...
Well, I will say, in
Mm.
the shield, there's a WW for Wayward Watch. So if,
Okay.
if anybody wants to get the Wayward Watch tattoo, gonna be twins.
I want a Shash brand.
Quadruplets or whatever.
A sash.
Shash.
It's from.
Corey doesn't know what that is.
No clue.
It's a brand.
It means dangerous.
It's dangerous. I think your blindfold
It
probably
would cover
is
it.
dangerous.
But all right, it takes about an hour, but it's not even one of those, like, he finishes, kind of wipes up the little residue of blood from the tattoo, and then taps a finger to your forehead and casts Cure Wounds on you, so any residual
nice.
damage is gone.
I don't have to wear.
You don't have to wear wraps for any
Nice.
time.
Awesome.
And then it's just like, that's 300 gold.
Right. Gladly. I'll even tip him 10 gold.
Okay, 310.
Always tip your artist.
Nice.
Well, if you guys ever need any more tattoos, feel free to come on in. My name has been Mikhail.
Mikhail. Very good.
Mikhail!
Mikhail. Is your brother named Chad by chance?
How do you know my brother?
Just an uncanny resemblance.
It's the tattoos, isn't it? His are exactly reversed from mine.
Awesome.
Okay, and then of course we'll get to the Wellspring. I'm sure
Yeah.
anybody else that needs to get anything for the Wellspring Item Company
Cool.
can. Now, Bolt, what did you want to do?
So I want to pick up a brooch of shielding,
Okay. And
It's not adding.
which is so. Yeah, don't hit it there. You have to actually hit from the.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did it like 15 times. It wouldn't work. So hit right. Or
Add
say add
equipment,
equipment.
seriously?
Yep.
Okay.
And it'll work.
Weird.
Okay.
So it says, while wearing this brooch, you have resistance to force damage, and you have an immunity to damage from the magic missile spell.
which I think we said it was about 300 gold for that one,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. That's what you said.
And normally, like, force damage isn't very prevalent, but your pariah shield
My
is.
pariah shield, yeah.
Yeah.
Turns everything to force, so,
So you can
combine
have that
together.
damage.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's
Two
really
magic
cool.
items combined.
I,
That's awesome.
yep. I am one functioning tank.
And then you had mentioned another item to get my constitution score. What was that one again?
That is the Amulet of Health, and that's 3,500 gold. So,
Okay, I'll put that on the wish list.
On the wish
of
list,
stuff. Yep.
which I believe is also on Victor's wish list. So, was there anything that you wanted to buy today or could buy?
I was just going to buy health potions and stuff.
Help? Oh
otherwise.
yeah, absolutely, yeah. Wellspring can provide any health potions and the brooch as
Okay,
well.
cool.
Can I see if I can talk them down by 200 gold on Boots of Steep?
On the Boots of Speed, give me that good persuasion check.
Because I have 1,300.
Uh-huh.
That's it.
I could loan you some gold.
So that's a 14.
So the Wellspring Item Company person will recognize you as one of the heroes of the Bloody Fountain. Word is getting around.
Hey, you know how they talk about the bloody fountain? That was my blood.
Yeah, so
And
absolutely.
if anyone says I was unconscious, it's not true.
Yeah, 200 gold off sounds like a reasonable price.
Awesome.
For
So
the
I am
Boots of
What is the cost for healing potions? It doesn't list it.
Speed. Oh, right. out.
Greater superior or supreme.
Yep.
It might be
What
in
did you get, Preston?
Boots of speed.
Might be in Discord from last time.
Yeah. That basically just gives me click your heels together, double your walking speed, and any opportunity attacks made against me are disadvantage. You click it, so I click my heels and then click them again to end the effect. It's a total number of 10 minutes that I can use it.
Cool.
It refreshes one rest.
So Potion of Healing is 50 gold, Potion of Greater is 100 gold, Superior is 250, and then Supreme is 500. And you can find them all here. And then last but certainly not least, Eve, what are you buying on this shopping trip?
Eve is going to buy a cloak of protection.
Okay.
As well as
twins.
Yay!
Triplets.
Oh, you have one too, that's right.
Ooh,
Yeah.
We're looking
Maybe
fancy.
that was the other item that I was recommending. It was a cloak of protection.
Oh, yeah, probably.
We should all have WW.
Matching clothes.
Embroidered.
Yes. It's our house sigil.
They're all
Sequence, I
blur.
want sequence.
Oh yeah, definitely sequence. Except for me, since that would, if I'm on the rooftop and it's like bling bling bling, bling then I'd get killed.
Mhm.
So
That'd
I
be
want
amazing.
mine to smolder, so it's like the smoke wisps coming off it instead of bling.
yeah,
So I can
And then what else?
And
Yeah,
then
what was the cost?
a shield.
500.
Plus one shield.
Plus one shield. So you're taking cloak of protection too.
Yeah, I'll get one.
Okay. Victor, on man out. No cloak of protection.
I can buy one for you if you want it.
Okay.
It's an attunement slot.
So
but
it's actually
What's
you guys-
the cloak protection?
take care of the
It's-
magical tattoo.
+1 to AC and
Yeah,
+1 to all your saving throws. For 500, I got 500. I'll buy it for you if you want.
Sure.
Okay, I will buy Victor a cloak
Okay.
of protection.
And if you want, you can get them embroidered.
Yes. Yeah.
Now we got to come up with a good insignia for
Yep.
the Wayward Watch stuff.
Maybe it's right here. Probably not.
Not fading
So-
protection.
Yes.
On the way to the Wellspring Island Company, you guys are traveling down. I'm assuming you're going through the streets on Darien just as normal.
Absolutely.
And
As
you,
normal.
as normal. Yep. Like I don't think you go anywhere without Darien at this point because
I
he's
don't.
just it's Darien.
It's part of me.
And you pass by a shop and you hear the door fling open and you hear this voice saying, Miss, please hang on just a minute. And you turn around and you see this
That was the voice
shop.
of Mungo. Is
Mungo.
that his name?
Oh yeah,
yeah, Mungo.
yeah.
That was gonna be
It's not
nice.
Mungo. You see this.
Mungo was more jowly.
Yeah.
Very watch.
Looking back, you see a shop that the merchant has come from is the Hillcorn Tack Shop. You can see that the symbol that hangs over the shop shows the colors and crest of House Greenwood, but the symbol has been scarred and peppered with stains of rotten fruit. The man catches up and takes a moment to catch his breath. He's very much the kind of your pudgy merchant. You know, he's been a merchant for a while now, so he's been eating really well. Except for that his clothes seem a little bit more plain than you might expect from a merchant in a city such as this. And he takes a deep breath and he goes, "My name is Miles Claremont, and I just have to say, what a beautiful mount that you have here. What is its name?"
Oh, thank you. His name is Darian.
Darien. So beautiful, such a great coat, and so unique as far as a mount goes. I'm sure you have a hard time finding any sort of special barding for it and everything like that, don't you?
Yes.
Well, I happen to be a master of
Considering I've never looked, yes.
of saddles and the like, and I want to make you an offer. You see, my family and I were planning on getting out of town for a little while, moving out into the country, as it were, and we can't take all of our stock with us. And I had a commission come through that the knight that commissioned it can no longer fulfill the payment, so I thought I'd offer it to you before I left, a way to protect your mount without having to burden it. So. And then he kind of reaches into his big, deep pockets on the side of his merchant robe, and he holds out two things, and he goes, "Behold!" And one of them is a large leather collar with a bunch of symbols etched into it, and this kind of metal, the metal tag. But it's got this a specific arcane symbol that Bolt easily recognizes as a symbol of protection. And then the other one is a bone choker, kind of like a 3 a 3 cloth ring bone choker that you might see in our world, like on a Native American or something like that. And they have the same symbols etched into it. And he goes, this wonderful device will help your mount have the same amount of protection as you, or vice versa if you prefer.
Hey, girl, dang.
And it's yours if you want for the low price of 600 gold.
It's very generous of you to offer me such a remarkable thing.
No, don't think nothing of it. Like I said, it would be something that would suit you rather well and protect good old Darian here. And he goes to try and pat, and the Darian kind of like just ships out of the way a little bit, and so he just pats the air. What do you say?
Can I just check to make sure he doesn't have like ill intentions?
No, yeah, go ahead. Roll me an
As far as I
insight
can
check.
tell.
Mhm.
Give me a collar of necromancy.
A collar of Killbounder.
What am I?
Well,
Insight.
if you'd
Insight,
like,
okay.
I can make sure it's what he says it
7.
is.
7. I mean, he doesn't look like he has any ill intent, but they'll just offer to.
If you would like, I could see whatever it is, make sure it's what he says it is.
I would appreciate that before I
If you don't
spend my
mind.
hard
No,
just
not
take
at
a few
all, of
minutes.
course, yeah.
So I'll go ahead and cast the identify spell on it.
So this is a Barding of Shared Defense. It's a wondrous item, very rare, requires attunement by one of 2 people who wear it. And we'll explain a little bit more on that in just a moment. So it's a pair of necklaces, each displaying the symbols of protection. It takes an hour to attune to the barding, during which time both the rider and mount must wear their respective neckwear and remain within 100 feet of each other. Once the attunement is complete, only one creature need be attuned to it. See below. As an action, the wearer with the higher intelligence can declare who is providing and who is receiving the bonuses of this barding.
I'll laugh if Darian's like, I declare. He has a monocle. He'd even be like, is his intelligence?
You should buy him a monocle, just... that just sounds awesome.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And a top hat.
Yeah.
It's very
With his antlers, with the antlers through it.
Okay,
Not
now we're
the
getting
ears.
silly.
The ears just go down.
Yeah, that's the silly part.
Pretty cool.
The recipient of the bonuses for this item must be the one holding the attunement to them, while the provider is free to attune to other items. If the attunement is swapped and the new recipient has no available attunement slots, the magic fails and the attunement on both creatures ends. So the recipient of the bonus gains magical shielding that supersedes their own worn or natural armor. The recipient's AC becomes equal to that of the provider, unless the AC is greater. And then the other wielder gains no benefit from any armor bonuses unless it improves their natural AC. So he can't get an extra +1 unless it would improve his natural AC higher than yours, basically. And then it also suffers no penalties that the armor would normally incur. So if it's heavy armor, they're not disadvantaged on stealth checks. The benefit lasts while the provider is conscious and within 1 mile of the recipient.
Did it say, I might have missed it, does one of them have to be a mount?
One of them does have to be a mount. Yep.
I was going to say, otherwise give it to me, because I want your armor.
I mean, first of all, the leather collar is way larger than...
I could wear it a belt.
but I did specifically say
tunic.
that one of them
Okay,
has to be a
sash.
mount.
Just make it.
Because I knew that would come up. But it does also, like, if the situation comes up and you need to, you can switch it to where you're receiving his armor class. So if you got him armor beyond this, and then you had to have a situation where you needed to be
And
protected.
we're within 100 miles.
Yeah,
if
well, 1 mile.
Oh, 1 mile.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, that's cool.
so it's something, but keep in mind that whoever is receiving the bonuses is the one that has to be attuned to it. So it requires an attunement slot if you want to have his AC. But if you want to give him the AC, it's not going to require the attunement slot.
Okay.
He'll have to use one of his attunement slots.
Yep, one of
And I
his 3.
think the Paladin mount disappears
When it dies.
well after a distance too. I believe it does have a distance
It
limit.
blips. It's just like bloop, and then
Does it come back?
within your range or
Yeah,
whatever.
I don't
So
think
it probably would never go out of the.
It's like video game when you run too far away from your horse and you turn around and it's like.
This is an instance where you can go to the ball in like the Cinderella dress and still have the AC of like a tank.
I love
Yeah,
it.
you could
It'd be
technically.
freaking cool.
That is awesome.
You just like go punch some noble and he punches you back and breaks his hands.
But the more immediate benefit is that your bounder is going to be harder to hit, which is great
Yes,
for...
I'm so glad for that.
It was sad when he died.
Thank you. Me too. I would love to purchase this.
Excellent.
600 gold.
Yes, 600 gold.
Could I?
He is trying to get rid of it. After all.
Yeah, you.
A motivated seller.
You're part of the Greenwood House, is that right?
Former proprietor of Greenwood, but unfortunately, like I don't subscribe to that any further. He seems a little flustered at being called out on it.
Well, what do you say to giving me a little bit of a break?
Go ahead and give me a persuasion check with advantage, please, because you did call him out.
Doing well. 14.
I could go maybe as low as 500 without being too deep into my pockets there.
I am saving up for a very special item, but this is indeed just as special.
Absolutely, you can't put a price on the health of your mount.
You cannot. I will take it for 500.
500 gold.
500 is the price.
The price is 500. Yeah, so
If
you can go ahead and get that.
If it
I'm actually going to send that
It
over.
would be this much.
When Darian gets disapparated
Uh-huh.
and he comes back, does he have to reattune?
Nope. So, yep, I'm basically declaring it, and
Attuned
this
to
will
his
be
essence.
this will be any sort of like mount
He just
or
like
summon
absorbs
creature.
it into him,
If they
basically.
attune to an item,
Yeah.
they're going to stay attuned.
It's his own
But
personal
if they're destroyed, the item goes with them, right? So it can't be used elsewhere.
Got it. Cool.
See our recent DMs episode for more. Not recent, like it was like
That's
2
kind of
months
old.
ago. But yeah, so that item should be over for you now. That's another homebrew original, so it's probably unbalanced. But,
What's it called?
it is called The Barding of Shared Defense.
I like it.
That means they're more fun, though.
Yeah. And thank you to you for giving me this idea, by the way. When you were talking about how your
My
AC
pleasure.
had gotten up to 20, and I was like, oh, that's great. Too bad Darian's AC is not that high. And I went, but it could be.
Wait a second.
There's not enough barding in D&D, so
No.
it's good to have more barding.
What is Darian's AC normally? 16?
13.
13?
Pretty poopy.
And he's got like 16 HP.
Ouch.
Thanks.
Insta-game.
But not anymore. Okay, so everybody heads to the Wellspring Item Co. They're like it's a very big store. It's almost big boxy in feeling.
Yeah, like a Fry's Electronics.
Yeah,
or-
there's a couple like young teens restocking the potion shelves and everything in there.
You get assigned a random teen to stalk you. Every time you come in.
Yes. And everybody can go ahead and purchase their items. There's no issues. As far as any other haggling, like Wellspring is very iffy on haggling. Like they did that for Victor because you guys were heroes, but most of the time, like Cloak of Protections are pretty much standardized at 500 gold. There's no sort of like special in that.
I mean, if they want, I'm totally cool, like, wearing a bumper sticker on my butt that says Wellspring Item Company, if they want. I'll be sponsored by them.
I'll have somebody send you a correspondent for sponsorship.
All right, that sounds good.
Gotta have
Keep
at
in
least
touch with the marketing
20,000
department.
I mean, look
subscribers
at it this
first.
way.
and then
You're the only,
Well, think
you're the
about it.
only person of your caliber in this.
Yeah, exactly.
Sounds like, I mean,
Yeah,
that's-
then she'll go ahead and write, like, she'll
Curiosity.
get your information.
Sure.
And who knows, you may get a
You're
correspondent.
gonna be like a freaking NASCAR.
Yeah, I'll put them all over. I'm cool with that. If it gives me cheaper items, sure.
Aneria's
Or like
first-
they provide free health potions, regular health potions.
Yeah, you have to send out 100 messages to random people a day and tell them about
This is turning into
their
an
nets.
MLM. No, this is LuLaRoe or something.
Aneria's first.
I'll paint myself pink.
The big caddy.
Yep.
So this is Aneria's first social media influencer.
Yes.
Bolt.
I mean, first
Hey,
for everything.
hey guys, what's up? It's Bolt again. Just
Hey,
out of the
just
Wellspring
wrapping
Item
my Wellspring Item Company.
It's your construct bolt here.
It's your boy.
Ya boy.
Yeah, boy.
Ya boy. What is that
It's
from? Oh, Big City Greens.
Yeah.
You guys. Why can't I get this to add? Why is it
Okay.
being so annoying?
So
Yeah, I had the same.
you're going to like manage inventory at the top, scroll down to whichever item or backpack or inventory or equipment that you want. At the bottom, click Add Equipment, and then do it from there. For some reason, it
It's
doesn't
like
work.
broken right now.
Yeah.
It worked earlier this morning because I was
Hey,
playing.
devs, I know you're watching this. Fix it.
They watch every stream that uses.
And then also sponsor us.
yes, please.
Thank you.
And maybe make
We'll
your
wear a
bag of
bumper
holding
sticker on our
items
butts.
don't go towards your total.
Yeah, let's remove the weight from the bag of holding too.
Yeah.
Or separate it. Something.
So it's after you guys leave the Wellspring item shop that you guys have kind of another interruption to your day. And it's in the form of a very amused-looking Lyra, Amber Eyes, leaning up against the building as you exit. And she goes, "Good afternoon, Victor, and friends, and new friends. You've found even more, it seems."
Indeed, we are in good company. It's I'm quite a charismatic individual.
Right.
Can't you see it in his eyes?
Can't you see my
a
plus
good
one to charisma? Look at this.
Did you
clock.
draw eyes on your smoldering eyes on your
Magical
googly eyes that kind of
Now there's a tattoo, the googly eye tattoo.
Fancy seeing you here, Lyra. To what do we owe this pleasure?
I believe it's actually business, not pleasure, unfortunately.
I see.
You've kind of made a mess of my contract, haven't you? What with the house that hired me being ousted and their funds seized.
I did nothing to your contract, I assure you.
We both know that that's a lie.
He just provided blood for the fountain. That's all.
I will not deny
To
that.
be fair, had you watched the battle, you would realize he really didn't do much.
I did watch the
didn't
film.
do.
I saw the cart moving forward and how little it actually
did nothing to help.
I didn't have any contract for it. So
Honor is dead amongst you.
I'm at a little bit of an impasse here. On the one hand, I could take you to the disputation still and kind of show everyone there exactly how dishonorable you've been with the disputation among everything else. On the other hand, I'd be willing to bow out of my contract if I were compensated properly for it.
I will
He just spent
compensate
all of
by
his money.
this. I'm gonna have a drum because
Okay.
she's pissing me off. GTFO, lady. We're trying to get on Keskes's boat.
And you can see all of her kunai kind of just like lift a little bit off, and
Well,
she's
Frankie.
just like, you got some brave friends. Look, if you want to be dishonored, that's fine with me. You're already bad in my book. But if you're willing for a little tit for tat, I'm okay to just back out.
So you're telling me you're wanting to blackmail me for money? While I look, yes, I can see where someone might say I am made of it, but I'm actually quite broke right now. have no
I doubt
money.
that even on your best day you would have the 10,000 gold for my contract fulfillment.
I'm sorry. I don't think we've met.
I'm Lyra.
Oh, hello, Lyra. I have heard your name. My name is Evans.
Likewise.
Interesting to meet you. Say. Now, from what I'm understanding, you're demanding Victor pay you $10,000 for a contract that cannot be fulfilled by your employers?
No, I was saying that he couldn't possibly pay that much. I'm asking for a favor instead. Of course, we haven't gotten around to that. People keep interrupting.
Ezra's arm's getting really tired. He's still holding the arrows. Like,
Oh, wait, it's so
I just got
heavy.
tattoos. These hurt.
Very well. What is it that you require, Victor?
Victor, you're heading to the Ruby Oasis, correct?
That we are, yes.
I have it on good authority that the Damascus Promenade is also going to be at the Ruby Oasis around the same time as I believe your airship will arrive. I want you to deliver a request for commission to Udathi and get her to approve it. If you can deliver that to me in a couple weeks in Big Town, we won't have any issues, and I will cancel the disputation, saving your honor.
These are a lot of names.
So Udati, and she wants it to be delivered to let her know in Big Town.
Yeah, she wants the commission, once it's completed, delivered to her in Big Town.
Completed. And you make it sound like it's simple. What is it that? Why would you be willing to forgive and forget for something so simple?
Well, I mean, you trying to convince Udathi is not going to be simple at all. She's notorious for being a great haggler. But you're in a unique position to be able to speak with primes with humility. I've heard about the way that you wooed Ivan, and I'm hopeful that you might be able to do the same for Udathi.
Am I allowed to know what this commission is beforehand?
She hands you the scroll, which is sealed, and she says, "You can break the seal if you'd like."
Is it going to have negative consequences looking...
So you look at the seal, and it has the onyx wings, like crest, in it. And she goes, "It's not magical, if that's what you mean."
Alright, I just would like to know that that this is not going to hurt my friends or, show up and maybe it's a letter damning me to a life of servitude
this is
or something.
embarrassing.
I don't know.
Victor cannot see.
I can't read.
Then that would be very hard for him to read that, wouldn't it? Makes him the perfect messenger.
So perhaps you should tell him what's in it.
I could. The money or the commission?
But she's really good in a fight if you need her. She does well.
Is she 5 level 6 characters good in a fight?
Well, she kicked my butt.
Yeah, but you were level 1 back then 3 years ago.
That was 3 level.
You were level 0. There is now a level 0.
I think I can do this. I think this is reasonable. I know that, as I said before, I owe Ivan. And while I do not like being blackmailed, I feel that that I do still owe you this one. I will do this for you.
I'd consider the debt repaid.
I accept. And I'll put out my hand.
And she'll shake it in the classic 8-ring style that we have totally figured out and definitely know how to do on hand.
8 different moves, one for each.
You got a belly button, lift up your shirts and play off.
It's perfect. Do the, what is it, from
The truffle shuffle.
Goonies? Truffle shuffle? Yeah.
It's really awkward for Lyra to do that. It's just
Hey, at
it's
least
just
there's
top
not-
belly all the way down.
At least there's
Like,
not a moon landing at the end.
Yeah.
We will deliver this safely, and I will meet you with your commission in Big Town.
Perfect. It was wonderful to meet everyone again for the first time and again. And I hope to see you all soon.
Stay honorable.
You too, Tushin. And then she kind of just like walks back into the alley.
Does the alley close around her?
Yes, yep. The darkness kind of swallows her up.
I like her, but she's kind of sexy in a weird, kind of bitchy way.
I hope
I
this
go.
does not awaken anything in you.
Bolt says,
Probably not.
man, she just disappeared pretty easily. And everyone else with dark vision's like, no, she's still
She's just like in the dark.
Doing the jazz.
No, I don't see it. What do I do?
Victor, you attract some interesting women.
She's a
think
great knife dancer.
They are
She has
all
something
very
for you.
sharp.
Indeed.
I don't mean their mental prowess.
You're right. Have you
Their
seen her
personalities,
blades?
though.
Do you see how they
Yeah.
gleamed in the sun? She is perfect at what she does.
You saw that?
Her execution. I felt it. in my heart. From last time I saw them, before I was blind.
They sound like they're super honed.
They sound very sharp.
Do you want to explain what you know about the Damascus Promenade?
Sure. Let me get it to make sure. For the Damascus Promenade, they're kind of like the merchant arm of. You have the Tempered Requiem that specializes in making armor, equipment, etc., and then these others are more like your merchants that take those and would be able to take them out into the world and
They're your
sell
distribution.
Yeah, and haggling and deal brokering and that kind of stuff.
They're also I don't know if I explained it quite well on the explanation there, but they're also sort of like the traveling carnival style.
Yes.
They're
more
very much like
performance.
they are
Snake oil.
like a performance. Yeah, it's there's
The
plenty of like
Western,
traveling salesmen busking, but it's a lot of like they have like exotic animals that you can go see, and like they have like little sort of rides that they have, not like full on like Ferris wheel style rides, but they do have like little like.
It's like a little carnival.
Would you like to go on a flying carpet, and you could go up for like 5 gold or whatever it is. So.
I'd take a flying carpet over a Ferris wheel.
Yeah, for sure.
And Udathi's their
And-
prime.
Yeah,
They
Udathi's
remind
their
me
prime.
of the Vistani, kind of.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, very Vistani.
Thank you.
Okay.
And he is an elf.
Udathi is a man.
Udathi is a woman.
Oh, sorry. Female.
Seems like they're all women.
I mean, Ivan was a man.
Oh yeah.
And
She's like,
previously,
I know.
She's like, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Of course he was.
Ivan's mother, who was a prime, was a female.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
my whatever that. So it's like
Good representation.
not necessarily patriarchal or matriarchal. It's just whoever.
It's just whoever's the best. It's
like that.
meritocratic.
Stratocracy. Meritocracy.
All right. Is there anything else that anybody wants to do in Terrebonne
Meritocratic.
before you get to the docks?
Let's go to the docks.
I want to
Let's go
visit
see
Blood
Cascades.
Fountain, make an appearance.
Did everybody
They like cheer when you
did everybody grab their
It's still being cleaned up. There's
Like,
nobody
go
there.
walk
Yes.
up and then
Healing potions.
lay down, let people take.
Healing potions.
I have healing. Yeah.
I have.
You got some.
Let
I
people
have
take
2 that I
magical
haven't
snapshots.
Same.
Yeah.
Okay. 2 leftovers.
Crystals. It will not capture crystals.
I have.
And did everyone pee before we get on the ship?
I was planning on
there-
peeing over
There's
the
no
side.
restroom? Yeah.
Who knows if it?
Kes probably has a chamber pot. Maybe.
Just over the side.
No
Nature's my
plumbing.
So easy.
Nature's my lube. As it were.
All right.
It's like a t-shirt. Nature's my.
So after the change-ups in the city, the already crowded docks are even more packed than they have been. There's plenty of people that are... It sort of happens whenever there's sort of a change-up in the high seat. You see people leaving, people coming in. There's a lot of different shipping that needs to happen to shift things around, just logistically. So everything's a little bit in a tizzy. And you are all on your way up, just about to step up onto the stairs that leads to this kind of lattice work over the main dock area where there's all these different dock ports. When you hear a voice that cuts through the crowd and goes, "Ezra?"
I'll turn around.
So you see a rather small orc man weaving his way through the crowd. His graying hair and wrinkled face give him the look of a man just barely passing his prime. The tunic and cloth pants he wears are pretty simple, and definitely not the outfit that you saw him in last. But they seem freshly worn. And he rushes right up to you, and he just wraps you up into this big hug, like full on barreling through whatever armor you have, And again, you're actually bigger than Trevin is, but he just gives you this hug, and he's just like, I can't believe I actually found you. I thought it was going to be forever until I found you.
I'm glad to see you. I'm glad you're out.
Yeah, they just dropped me off actually.
Good.
How are you? How are you okay? How is the book? Are you okay?
I'm good. The book is gone. I failed. Note on that later. I'm good. How are you?
I'm healthy. I got a little bit of gold from the Arcanum for time render. I suppose. And I was just about to start heading back to Willow Creek Hollow You said
Our house is burned down. You're sorry.
Did you burn the house down?
No, but it is probably my fault.
He tried to burn the house down one time when he was younger. I'm sorry. Who are your friends?
Are you going to introduce us to your father?
Yes, this is my father, Trevin. Trevin, this is friends. Wayward Watch.
Nice to meet you,
Victor,
friends.
And you.
Sarah, Eve, Bolt.
All right.
Bolt helped me out of Willow Creek Hollow, actually. It's been a big help.
Yeah. Well, thank you for your help, and thank you for all being Ezra's friends. I gave him instructions to the contrary of helping or of getting people to help him, but I suppose
You can blame Bolt for that one. He told me that we should trust people. I didn't want to.
It seems like it turned out okay, except for the book being gone. But I'm sure that's
We're working on it.
okay, because that is rather important.
I have so many questions. What is the catalyst of change?
Going heavy.
We're just gonna start right in. How are
right
beans
into it.
made?
You know about that.
Yes, I met Lady Crestor. She told me all about your past, I don't know, fling maybe. I don't know what you were doing. With Lady Crestor, something about...
Oh, I mean, I
Just like popcorn.
book.
I mean,
I don't know the whole story. Of course, she didn't tell me everything. But
I mean, if you've met Lady Crestor, that's incredible. I didn't have a fling with her. That was
good.
No, she's
She's kind of creepy.
a little creepy, isn't she? No, the catalyst of change. That's a heavy subject. Is what your mother believed that you were.
Right.
The catalyst of change is this supposed person made of chronergy, that's born of chronergy, and it's supposed to be the savior of the Withered Bow tribe, which is your mother's tribe. I never really told you too much about your mother, and I'm sorry. I've failed a lot as a father.
You did good. She failed. She left.
She failed as a father.
I mean, I did take you away from her.
Wait.
Because she was going to use you as this tool of prophecy, and I didn't want to see you grow up as nothing more than a tool. Being a tool is no fun.
Yes, you can ask Victor about that.
I was going to say, woo! Brander would be able to tell you all about that.
I'm very good at
Just
sharpening
kidding,
knives.
just
I can
kidding.
show you sometime. It goes like right over his head.
So
Nothing will go over.
That's-
Reflexes are too fast.
that's a lot to take in. I always thought she abandoned us.
No, I mean, I would have asked her to come with. I loved your mother dearly, but she was dead set in her ways, and she thought that you were going to bring about the rise of her people's empire again.
It's
So
not
what
too late.
could happen, but should it happen? That's the question. And I'm not the catalyst of
it's
change.
a bunch of
let's face it.
foolhardy rigmarole is what it is.
It is. Except the book is true, partially. We
Yes,
found
the
that
book
out
is true, but the
along
catalyst... So, the Withered Bow believes that their people used to rule the Ungolin Empire, that stretched across the land before even time was written, or something like that. And now they just live in the Ungolin marshlands and believe that someday their glorious empire will be restored to its full potential.
So, Mother is in the Ungolin marshlands.
That would be the last place that I saw her, yes.
I'm wondering if it's worth a visit after all these years.
I would strongly recommend staying away from your mother. She's dead set on making sure that you fulfill your role at any means necessary.
Well, she didn't fulfill her role as mother, so I guess we're both just disappointments.
I'm so sorry, Victor. There was so much that I didn't.
Victor, huh?
Sorry, I'm so sorry,
A
Ezra.
lot of days in prison.
I have that effect on people.
You're leaving? Where are you heading?
We are going to the Ruby Oasis to track down something to do with the Infinite Sight.
Would you like to come? You look like you could use a vacation.
to the infinite sight.
I think you should go see Ainor. She could probably use some help in her kitchen.
You've met Ainor?
Yes, we've got an open invitation to a table there.
I might have to try and get in on your clout if you don't.
Oh, was she single?
I mean,
Was she
that
straight?
I don't know. She's a pretty cowboy. Maybe.
Brokeback Mountain wants a word.
I think the plan of going to Willow Creek Hollow might be more my speed. I'm an old orc now, and I can't really.
Professor Alarian is still there. You could catch up with him.
Yes, of course. Have you been keeping up with your training, by the way?
I've tried. Haven't had any formal training in a while, but practice every day. And in fact, Victor is a 8-wing ring family member.
I do a flourish, like not threatening, just like a playful.
Ta-da!
So we constantly challenge each
It's like a
other.
peacock. It's like
Do all your blades curtsy with you as well?
It's good. I'm glad that you've surrounded yourself with wonderful people
He does
too.
great training every morning. You should
And-
be very proud.
Things.
and things. Yes.
I'm still a person.
That's right.
Anyway,
Some people are just so inconsiderate.
I
I definitely know
Unfortunately,
most
I'm used to
people.
it by now.
think it would be good to maybe let us know some embarrassing stories that we can use against him at some point in time.
You've been around me enough.
I
to
will
know
pay you
all
in
of them.
gold once I have some.
well, there was the one time that the kids in town convinced him to go skinny dipping into the Willow Creek Hollow, and none of them showed up, and he ended up skinny dipping all on his own, running right through the town.
The little
I think they just call that bathing.
the
You
little
skinny dip on your own.
Tushin was showing his tushy. I think I have a new nickname for you, Easy.
Doshishen.
The little
Shin.
Don't besmirch
I'm going
the
to
name
branch
Tushin.
off and create another thing that's kind of like the
it's a
Igorans,
nudist
kind of like
colony
Tushin.
for Tushin.
No.
That can be found at the Ruby Oasis.
But it sounds like you're starting off, and you're doing what you want to do. Is it what you want to do?
I think so. Once I get the book back, I feel like we'll be right back on track.
Good.
But
If you can find a way, I would destroy it.
Why?
The magics inside are way too powerful for anyone to wield. The idea of any sort of the infinite sight can do things that can affect your memory.
No.
And with the book can do things that can affect the world's memory on a global scale. Like more than just one person. Entire empires could fall. Kingdoms could have been destroyed in an instant. We could be living in an alternate reality and not even know about it.
This is also.
How did you come across this book?
I found it in a tomb.
Trevin,
you were adventurous.
That sounds like a future one-shot.
I
Or
was
a past one shot.
A prequel one-shot.
I've been an explorer, or I was an explorer for a while, and I did stumble upon a tomb and was able to find the book. That's actually one of the things that led me to your mother. I'll have to tell you the full story sometime.
Is your mother a vampire? She was in the tomb.
No. Lady Crestor, though, maybe.
Are you sure you wouldn't like to come with us? I'd love to hear this story.
Go ahead and roll me a persuasion check. I want to see if he can convince Trevin.
Perhaps we could ask Cuscus if he could stop by Willow
I
Creek
have
Hollow.
a really
on the way.
good persuasion.
Might take us out of
skill.
That's
way
way
out of
out.
our way.
11.
sort of.
11? No, I
'Cause you go around the Emerald
really
Wilds anyway.
shouldn't do anything. And to be completely honest with you, I have a little bit of a reputation in Big Town, Pilfer, Falcon Crest. So I do generally
a
avoid that area.
reputation, really.
Yeah, it's
Are you a ladies' man?
Not that kind of reputation.
it's more of I've made some friends that well, bad mistakes. I have made a few, but
You're not one of them. You're a great person.
I
Don't
end
ever do
up
your best.
making powerful friends and even more powerful enemies there, and I'd rather not have them know that I'm back in
Well,
town.
if we're on the trail of powerful enemies, might as well give me a list, and maybe we can just
What about Thule and Crawl?
solve the issue.
Oh,
Friend or enemy?
how old would he be?
Frenemy.
He looked
Well, if he
sort of
dabbles in
youngish.
time magic, he could be not aged at all.
I mean, I knew him when he was about 10 years old, and he was just sweeping around the Infinite Sight's hideout.
Very well, Ezra's father. We'll take a rain check.
Yes.
I must hear this story, perhaps over dinner sometime at Einor's.
Yes. If you get a free minute, come on back to Oak Creek Hollow. I'd be happy to put you up as soon as I find a new job and a new house.
Just tell Ainor that I sent you, and I'm sure she'll have something for you.
Of course. Thank you, Ezra.
Or
And-
Olarian, even for that matter, could use someone to help with research.
Or
yeah,
if,
it might
or
be a
if you
good
want
idea.
to become a man of the night, we know some people over there too that could help you.
I know.
He says it with a.
Here is
Been there, done that. No, thank you. Not anymore.
Here is a
Made all
healing
those
potion. I'm going to give him a greater healing potion.
Okay.
You're right.
And I'm going to give him...
Cross lovers.
I will give him 10 gold. And just to make sure he gets there.
I mean, you probably need the money more than I do.
I just spent all the money on the things that I need. So you're in luck.
Oh, thank you.
Surely you have insurance, home insurance.
I don't know what that is. Is that
When
like some
you
extortion
go
racket?
to,
that
when
I
you
should
go
know about?
to the thing in the middle, what is that place called? The
The
rivers
Arcanum.
converge in the Tower of
Oh,
Justice.
the beacon.
The beacon. You forfeit your right to basically everything. It's a long road back,
Including insurance.
including insurance.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
But best of luck to you. I mean that with all of my heart, Ezra. Best of luck. And he gives you another hug, with basically this father trying to impart everything in one single hug. And,
Group hug.
Yeah, we join in.
all right, well then everybody
Ezra's
gets to
like-
see this, not just Ezra. So all of you get a vision in your heads.
Whoa.
Oh,
So
This is vision number 4. Oh.
you see your father in flashes, or Ezra's father for everybody else. First on the Pouncewind prairies, then aboard vessels and rivers and port towns, basically going through his life. Each memory is of a particularly harrowing time for Trevin. Near misses and lucky breaks. As you watch your father in his younger years, you see his choices displayed in a magical yellow trail. He ducks to the right, following the trail as his movement causes him to avoid the deadly claws of a savanna lion. You see him drop to his knees and beg forgiveness in front of a gnarled-faced man with a cutlass, rather than follow a trail that would have him run away. You see the brief debate on the angle of a blade as it drives downward, the trail he follows leading to the Knoll's Eye and killing it, rather than letting it live with a severe wound. The final 3 are the most intense visions of all. The first shows the yellow trails branching in dozens of directions, with his path helping him avoid trap after trap until his hands wrap around a book in the midst of a crumbling tomb. The second shows him ducking between a pair of colorful tents in a sand-swept market, causing him to run headfirst and into and knock over an elven woman carrying a large stack of furs that you cannot see. The final is a bird's eye view of this very moment, where the yellow trail finally ends at his son, before beginning again in a dazzling display of orange magic.
oh, I got shivers. That was cool.
As you snap out of the vision, Trevin breaks the hug, smiling brightly, not even realizing that anything occurred, before saying, "I'm so very proud of the man you've become. I know that you'll be safe." Out of character, Ezra now has the lucky feat
Oh.
Wow.
to,
1 feet or 2 feet?
and why that is, maybe we'll find out.
Okay.
Cool.
Well, I
I don't know
will
if
try
you
and
can
hold
do
in
that.
all of
Oh,
my
I can't. I
tears
think you
and
can.
just squeeze them back.
And
hug.
yep, and once you guys have had your slightly trying to hold back the tearless goodbye, he gives everybody else a nod and then heads off looking 5 years younger, and like the weight of the world is off of his shoulders.
It was very nice to meet you, Trevin.
Wonderful to meet you as well, Bolt. Sorry for not thinking you were a person at one point.
It happens.
Thanks for taking the name.
And then you are able to head on up.
For my head, the macabre side of my brain was waiting for something to hit him as he walked down the street and like just leave him splattered on the ground.
Yeah, because it was the end of his show.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, he's
Like,
gonna
he's
die.
gonna-
What's gonna happen?
I was worried that might be the case. That at least one of you would be like, "No, he needs to come with us now. We need to protect him." But no, that's just a
It's okay.
passing of the
I'll let
torch.
my father die if it drives the story.
Heartless.
Sorry,
Let's get that taken out of context for one of our shorts. How about
Yep, and right. It's for the blooper reel.
Yep. So you guys can head on up to the greatest treasure. In all of its raggedy glory, you see the big propeller from the windmill that is attached to the back. Hug is currently hoisting the last few of the crates on, and as you approach, he stands up and he waves and he goes, "Hello, everybody. How are you?"
We are good, Hug. Thank you.
Good.
How are you?
Do you have luggage? I was told to ask for luggage.
Backpack, little leather pouch.
He picks up Darian, like giant bunny, and puts him onto the
my
deck.
gosh.
And Darian's
Do
completely.
not squeeze bunny.
Oh, of course not.
Do not eat
Bunny
bunny
is-
either.
bunny
Pet him,
is
do not
pretty.
call him George.
That's never.
And then there's a little puff of smoke as the hatch opens up and Cassis comes out, wiping away the soot from his goggles, and he closes it really quickly and locks it before turning around and saying, "Ah, friends, welcome aboard, welcome aboard. Yes, yes, I have everything prepared for your wonderful journey." And he moves over to a section of the ship near the front that has been cordoned off with these giant bed sheets, and he pulls them back, and there are just hammocks waiting for you. There's a large tub of water, but it's just like one of those iron cast tubs. And he goes, "As you can see, all amenities prepared. Everything is nice. Yes,
Now,
yes."
Kes, did you get my special request about putting those little sound vibrations on the hand railing so I don't fall off? You know, we want it to be accessible as possible.
I tell you what, Cassis do. I loosen bolts on railings so they rattle. Yes, yes.
Good enough, whatever.
We'll watch him. Don't
this is
loosen
OSHA
anything.
hazard.
Even better.
I saw.
So good to see you. I love your messages.
Thanks, Kes. I don't tell these folks about all the messages we send. It's embarrassing how much we write.
It's true, and we do talk about them quite a lot.
We do.
Yes, yes.
He's like my personal journal. Dear
not-
diary. I mean, Kes.
Dear Kes, and from now on, I want all of the recaps to say Dear Kes instead of Dear Mother. No more letters to Mother, only letters to Kes.
OMG, Kes. Can you believe what Sarah did?
And he does read them with curlers in his hair and his feet.
Does he?
Yeah.
Eating bonbons.
Toodle-doodle-doo.
Yep.
XOXO.
So he ushers you all on, and he says, "Hug, push off," and Hug takes this giant rope and pulls it off, and then just kind of takes his foot and pushes the greatest treasure out, so it starts floating. Yeah, I mean, if anybody is nervous about flying, they can roll a Constitution saving throw to see how they do.
Yeah. Suddenly, Bolt has some major flying anxiety
Okay.
come over them.
All right.
I'm not sure why. So
Maybe it has something to do with, falling out of a freaking skyship at some point.
did roll a
Well, it's true.
24 on my con save.
Okay.
But Bolt is going to go to the center of the ship if there's something to hold on to, like
I mean, there's some tied down crates probably
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
That you could probably put another rope around.
just kind of maybe hook an arm through the ropes and just sit down.
And Cascas runs to the back. So the way that the ship is laid out is it's kind of this. It looks almost like just a transport barge. It's pretty boxy, pretty square. The front section of the ship is cordoned off with the big sheets and everything for you guys, as much luxury as Cascas can provide. And in the back corner, I think it's the left corner, there is like a small bunk room where Kes basically runs the ship from. That's where he steers from. That's where he basically lives. And then Hug just kind of like sits down at the back of the ship and just relaxes. He starts like playing with the phoenix feather as you guys start traveling down
As
the
the boat
Dracula's.
flies, does like it just sag wherever he's sitting?
A little bit.
Sarai just goes to the metal tub and looks in it and casts create bonfire in the water
Okay.
to like heat it up.
Yeah, definitely.
Should
That
get
will
in.
heat it up.
I'm gonna walk by and just splash you with it before it gets too hot.
Okay.
Eve will lay in a hammock with her snuggle beast.
I mean, the hammock is probably the best place to be. Like
Buried,
it's a,
like over the side.
Fingers flopping in the wind. Tell me about it.
He's loving it.
No.
yeah, because he knows that if he falls, she can just summon him whenever. Yeah.
In fact, he intentionally jumps.
For half an hour.
Yeah, but the hammock is the best place to be. Like the greatest treasure is as rickety as everybody remembers as it's going along, but the hammock kind of subdues that to make it kind of a pleasant kind of vibration rather than any sort of like jitteriness. Yeah. Plus, any sort of sudden tilt or anything, the hammock just absorbs that completely. So.
Kes, did you replace the motivator from last time?
Oh yes, motivator replaced. Old one, very old though, but new one much older. But still works. It still works.
Great.
So you guys actually continue. It's going to be a 7-day trip. Kes does try to provide as much like luxury as possible. He knows that you guys are going to the Ruby Oasis and on a vacation, and so he's very much like he tries to prepare nice meals, anchovies and other sorts of fish for dinner, that sort of thing. He sticks to the river, so there's a lot of seafood, and you can see that a Hug actually fishes off the back with Kes' giant hook, and he catches rather
With
large.
Kes' bait.
Yeah. Yep. Kes just like dangles there, and as one's coming up, he just like pokes it with the spear, and then we're good. But they get like some of those giant tuna, that exist in the rivers of Aneria inexplicably, despite there not being salt water.
They swim upstream.
Yes. But he never goes over the Emerald Wilds, which you guys pretty much immediately get into on your journey, because right outside of Terrebonne, heading west is the Emerald Wild on either side of the river, and it's like going down the Amazon rainforest. The Amazon River. There's just jungle.
Do we have a good view of the mountain?
Of which mountain?
Of the one in the middle of the Emerald Wild.
Sky Peak.
Oh, Sky Peak? Oh, yeah. There's always a good view of Sky Peak. Yep.
Yeah, Sarai spends a lot of time just gazing at that, looking for dragons.
Kes offers you a telescope with a cracked lens if you'd
Sweet.
like to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
She
Go
uses
ahead
it.
and give me a perception check.
Oh. 18.
You swear that you see something with lizardy wings, like leathery reptilian wings.
And I'm sticking to it.
Yeah. That.
I saw a dragon. Did you see it? I start casting around the telescope so everyone can see.
I put my hat down.
No, I see nothing.
What about
Kes comes over. Victor's close to the edge. Back up, back up.
a perception check?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What about a 23? Do I see a dragon?
You see kind of like a whip-like tail with a like kind of like a scale whip to it.
I see a tail went through the clouds. I think you're onto something.
Now I gotta try
There's
it.
something out there.
There's been no credible reports of
Perception is
dragons.
My own eyes are credible.
Exactly. I am credible. I saw what I saw.
And that's what Bull says from sitting next to the pile of crates
Yeah.
that's all strapped down and holding on to it.
That would be an 11.
You by the time the spyglass gets to Eve, like there's nothing.
That's
there.
just a cloud. It doesn't look like a dragon at all.
Are you two trying to tease me?
No, it's a cloud
Evie,
dragon.
This is not something I would joke about.
Don't worry, I don't see it.
Those clouds must be its own breath. It's hiding in there. I saw a tail.
I'm choosing not to believe, not because I don't trust your opinion.
There are no dragons in Aneria, says the kobold.
Where do the stories come from, I wonder?
They're from the next door town.
Kes, are you sure there aren't any other large air creatures that could stalk us out of the sky?
Well, I mean, there's griffins, peritons, rocks. There is wyverns. Maybe it's a wyvern.
Oh, it was much bigger than a wyvern.
Much too big.
There's sky rays. There's there. I think I saw a sky whale once.
I should not have asked.
Go ahead and roll me that Constitution check again there.
Even higher, somehow. Why are you rolling good? Wait till battle.
It's actually on the second day that the only thing of note happens on this journey. And that's that there is kind of a small explosion from below. It doesn't there's no burst of fire or anything. You just hear this
bolt
kind
squeaks,
of boom, and the ship just kind of drifts to a stop, and the windmill stops turning. It's still floating in the air. It hasn't started falling out of the sky or anything. But Kes comes running out of the cabin, and he runs down and he stops at the lock and kind of hunches over it to fiddle with it in whatever way unlocks it. Then he flings open the door and he stops and he turns around and he goes, "Hug, protect." And he closes the hatch and Hug goes over and just sits down on the hatch and just waits there and he goes, "I've never seen down below." And about an hour later, there's banging on the hatch and Hug steps up and Kes opens up the door and turns to Bolt and says, "You Artificer, yes?
Yes.
Can you help?"
Yes. And I'll crawl over to the hatch.
Okay.
And climb inside.
All right.
Something's wrong with Bolt, guys.
Tell us what you see down there.
Hug, protect it. He closes the hatch.
I think he needs recalibration. Something is not right.
Some Dramamine.
We need to do a reset.
I wonder if a swift hit to the head will restart the system.
Yeah, that totally works.
I think that only works in movies.
We could try.
Whatever a movie is.
Whatever that is.
A magic picture.
It only works in stories.
So you go down below deck. The second deck is just full of cargo. There's just nothing but cargo in that second deck. There is a little there is a rather big opening hatch that allows you to open up that part to get the cargo out with the crane that is actually it's probably also down in there as well because it comes up out of there. But he takes you right down to the next set of stairs that's right there because it's just in fact, it's probably just a spiral staircase that he took from somewhere. And he gets you down to the bottom level into the engine room. And what you see is this kind of red glow that's coming from this weird lattice work of arcane cables. And as you approach, you see that actually the middle of this lattice work is what appears to be a heart of molten lava. It's very clearly heart-shaped, but it is made of molten lava.
Atomical heart or
anatomical.
Yeah, candy heart shaped. It says "Save me" on it.
And he goes. I'm not sure what's wrong. Heart no longer providing power as it should.
And that is usually your power source.
Yes, that is Kes' power source.
I would like to try to investigate and see if I can figure out basically kind of how it works initially, and then see what's causing it.
You can go ahead and roll me an investigate check, or you can use your a tool proficiency. Basically, any tool proficiency should work here.
Okay, alchemist supplies, mace's tools, smith's tools, thief's tools, tinker's tools probably would be
tinker's tools.
Good. So that's just my double proficiency, right? It's the same as my investigation, but 18.
Dragons are real.
Okay. 18. You're able to kind of figure out that this you kind of take a moment. Do you have detect magic specifically?
No, I do not.
Okay. So you just kind of take a moment to kind of get
I have identify. I can be touch things every 10 minutes to figure out what they are.
You see a little bit you can feel the arcane magic coming off of this heart that is beating and glowing inexplicably without actually being part of any sort of living creature. And you realize that like these cables are specifically going to individual systems on the ship, like magical crystals that power the ship's thrust and power the ship's, allow gears to turn, that sort of thing. And you do realize that this thing is a complete jumble. Like it's a complete mess. Over the years, he's had to reroute everything. And you know that you can fix it. It's just going to take a little bit of time.
Well, I think I see your problem, but you're going to have to trust me. I'm going to have to undo all of this and redo it.
It's like a really bad IT closet.
Oh yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. None of the cables are.
No cable management.
Yeah, there's no
whatsoever.
cable management. Okay. Kes will trust. Just don't mention any points of the heart.
Why exactly are you embarrassed to have people know about it, or scared?
Not embarrassed, scared. Heart is from Kes' former master. He's long gone, but he left.
That's his heart.
That is his heart.
Dragon heart.
Oh.
He left it. He left it to Kes as reward for service and to keep him alive in some capacity.
Who was your former master, if you can say?
Master's name was Zolzyrus. He's... Dang it. How do you know my sources?
Please spell.
ZULZIRIUS. Or RUS. Not IUS.
So this is Osiris. Gave you his heart. His heart.
Yes.
Not one that he owned.
This is this is Osiris' heart.
Okay. And told you to keep it safe.
Mm-hmm.
He said keep it secret.
Yes. he said keep it secret.
And you have used it to power your ship.
Not best use of heart, I'm sure, but it makes ship mine. It is greatest treasure.
It is very ingenious.
Thank you. But now is broken.
Do you know? Has it been acting up recently?
Past few years.
What has it been doing?
Just stuttering, stalling. One time it failed completely.
Is it a big heart or is it?
Oh, it is a big heart.
Like how big are we talking?
Like bigger than Bolt.
Oh wow.
Okay, I'm looking at his chest.
That was actually one of my questions. Based on the size of it, what was Osiris?
Kes looks very uncomfortable, but he goes, Osiris was molten dragon.
I know.
Dragon.
Yes.
As in
As
creature of lore.
As in
Never
myth.
been seen in an area, dragon.
So Osiris was last dragon of Aneria.
There is another.
Kevin Costner.
Wow.
Sister.
I've never seen a dragon's heart, let alone a dragon. This is
He was glorious to behold.
well. Let's get to work. And so I'm going to start directing him to, hand me certain cables and
Okay.
I can't take
Yeah.
it. So
It's interesting because as you pull the cables out, they kind of just come out cleanly. There's no it's not like trying to jam something into a heart. It just kind of magics together pretty smoothly. Especially because this is you can feel molten lava's worth of heat coming off this thing, but it's not burning the ship around you. And after about an hour or two of work, you get that last cable plugged in, and everybody up top, you hear kind of the shudder, and then the ship starts moving again. Yeah. It starts. It just starts going forward and in a rapid beat. No, actually, the ship starts moving again, but it's smooth. It is comfortable. It's like being on solid ground without being on solid ground. There's no sort of like shudder or anything. And Keskas actually looks in wonder and says, "It's like the first day I put her together."
Well, as long as you keep up the maintenance on this, it should last for, I'm assuming, as long as the heart has magic, and something this powerful seems to have a nearly endless supply as well. But I would recommend looking for an alternative power source, just in case, some kind of a backup.
Keskas see what he can find.
And I can help you integrate that too, if you find something.
Of course. So please no tell friends about Heart. Don't want word getting around about Dragon Heart. Yes, yes?
Yes. However, if I did tell my friends, they wouldn't tell anyone. Maybe except for Sari.
Sari would tell Craggy, and Craggy would tell everyone.
All Craggy can't keep a secret.
You have been very kind to us and very helpful. So I will keep your secret.
Hey, if you feel friends will keep secret, friends can know.
We'll determine that at a later date.
We should head up.
Okay.
And he kind of wipes himself off a little bit, takes one last look at the heart before he heads upstairs. Just kind of, you could just kind of see that flash of some memory.
I do tell him before we go up, like, don't act so suspicious when you go in the hatch. It has made everyone wonder what the hell is down here.
Good advice.
Just act like there's nothing unusual about going into the bowels of the ship.
Okay.
Like, keep it locked, obviously, but
he'll get a nice little bump to his stealth checks from now on. So after about a couple hours of everybody waiting around, the ship starts going smoothly again, and shortly thereafter, Keskas and Bolt come up out of the hatch after knocking to get Hug off of it.
And I still crawl over to the to the crates and sit down.
And then Keskas closes it up and locks it, and then just walks away, whistling to himself, trying to be as casual as possible. As he gets back to flying,
like extra casual.
Yeah, he gets back to flying what is now a rather regular ship, and you all start noticing that, like, before, the nights were kind of cold a little bit. You had to wrap up in blankets. Obviously, the tub was only warm if Sarai actively, warmed it.
Casting fire in it.
Yeah, but now there is a kind of a heat that permeates through the vents of the ship, or basically through the wood floorboards. So you don't need nearly as much bundling up. The water is warmer, and it's all in all more pleasant journey now.
Well, I don't know what you did down there, but whatever it was, it worked.
What was it?
We had to rewire everything. He had a standard solarium engine core, but it was, well, have you ever seen drunk spiderweb? It's the best way to explain it. You know how, have you ever seen the videos where they dose spiders with like LSD and different drugs, and then
watch
they
them.
make
No,
they
is
make
that a
web.
thing?
Yeah, well,
They do it for science.
For science.
For science.
For science.
And then they watch them make a web.
And certain drugs make them do like
The
crazy
drug
crazy
web,
big webs
yeah.
and like super intricate, and other drugs are just like they make a line back
The
and
weed
forth.
one was hilarious. It did like a line, and then it was just like, bam, and like slept. It just had like one line.
The LSD one was like all over the place and crazy.
Someone took that video, and then at the very end, they're like, and the one that took what was it, CBD oil or like marijuana or something,
THC
made a hammock
oil.
and took a sleep.
Took it out.
Yeah, think of a spider that's been incredibly drunk trying to make a web. And that's what it looked like down there. So we actually tore the whole thing apart and started over from scratch. If you notice, it's much smoother, and all the amenities seem to be working properly now.
Well, thank you for helping.
I'm glad it didn't fall to the ground while you tore it
You took
apart.
everything apart, right?
Well, generally skyships are built so that part of them is very redundant. Because you may not be able to move forward, hence why you actually see a bunch with sails as well, because the air currents are able to move them. Okay. Which is probably something that Kes should invest in. Some kind of
He's
sail.
got the propeller. That's moving the ship forward.
I know, but if it ever fails again, you can just unfurl the sail. And
He's got Hug and then a bicycle Kes size that Hug gets on.
He just uses his hands.
You did ask him to look for a different mode of transport,
A backup.
Yeah, backup. Yeah. So that might be what it ends up being now.
Well, there's like those solar yachts that, when they run out of battery power, or it's like super cloudy and they can't recharge, they actually have a big sail that's like a big parachute basically out front that unfolds and pulls the yacht along. Pretty cool.
Searching for your next purchase.
Oh, yes.
Most
I might just
Sound
move
like a
to a
James
yacht.
Bond villain.
So the next 5 days are smooth sailing. There are no pieces that break. There's no sort of injury. Like it's a completely different experience from your guys' first foray onto the greatest treasure. And soon enough, the jungle gives way to plainland. You can see off in the distance is just the barest hint of desert. And you can kind of just see a few different towns scattered to the north. To the south, you can make out Potter's Path a little bit, because it is one of those shore towns near the edge of the Emerald Wild. And of course, straight ahead of you, rising up, as always, is the beacon, this large triple tower Arcanum home base with a glowing orb kind of floating between the towers. And it's almost as bright as the sun itself going across the sky. So there's points where the kind of one sun eclipses the other, as it were. And about the time where all the rivers meet, you veer off to the right, and you start coming down, and you can see this small little port town on one side of the river that you pass over, and on the other side, right at the edge of this desert, you can clearly see that everything's starting to get rather sparse. There's very little vegetation, except for this large oasis and this beautiful resort mansion that's larger even than Lady Crestor's mansion. And a little bit of a dock and a couple warehouses besides. And as you're approaching, there is this rather nice luxury yacht. In fact, we'll go ahead and say that it's the We Will Pamper You that you guys weren't able to book passage on. It is very sleek. You can kind of see that they've got sort of this multicolored fish scale underlie, and it is parked, letting off a few nobles, and the crew of the We Will Pamper You kind of looks completely shocked that a ship such as the Greatest Treasure is waiting behind it to dock at this single port as well. And shortly enough, you guys pull up as the other ship leaves, and there is a man in kind of white robes with a little bit of gold trim standing there, and he waits for you to disembark. Thank you. Forgot the word there. You know what word I forgot today? Venue. I was trying to type the word venue, and I kept on like thinking avenue, and I was like avenue.
A venue.
Yeah, a venue. Yeah.
A venue.
Anyway.
Avanti. What?
Yes. And good afternoon, everyone. My name. Wow.
Chauncey.
My name is Chauncey, and
Sari was going to call him Chauncey regardless, so.
Who might I be having the pleasure of addressing today?
Well, we are the Wayward Watch.
As apparent by our cloaks.
I'll turn around.
It's 01 Ezra, WW underneath, 02 Seredan.
Yeah, I want to be
W2.
O2. I always like Jason the best. Oh, that's
We've been expecting you.
Gotcha.
You have some of our best rooms booked, actually. Welcome to the Ruby Oasis. Again, my name is Chauncey. I am your personal guide, actually. And he snaps his finger, and another one of these white-robed servant stands up to talk to Kes about anything else that he needs to declare. And he says, if you would all follow me.
Gladly.
So long, kiss kiss.
So long, friends.
Thanks for the ride.
Thank you for joining. If you need workout, plenty of cargo to unload. Yes.
Isn't that what Hug's for?
Hug is already he's got 2 barrels, and he's like, that is what Hug is for.
Good job, Hug.
So Chauncey leads you down this. All of the rest of the times that you guys have been to an airship dock, it's been like a wooden staircase leading down and everything. But this one, this is a perfect marble tower with a marble winding staircase that leads down into it. There's even art on the walls inside of here, just paintings by various different artists that have come through and everything. They've painted everything from mythical creatures. You see one of a dragon flying over Sky Peak because
That's what we saw. It's exactly like that.
And
Same color and everything.
Yes. Well, it was kind of blue. Red. Blue's red. It was kind of red.
Make it
Could it be
pink.
brown? Could it be blue? Could it be violet?
No.
the violet sky painting is right here, actually.
Oh, it could be purple. Anything you like.
It's a painting of the
Victor,
cracking.
This one
Yeah.
looks like you. Can you see it? I'm just pointing at nothing.
I see. It's art is what you sometimes you see a little bit of yourself in it. So I'm glad you admire me enough to see it in another person.
Yeah, looks just like you.
Yes.
But
It's all about how you feel when you look at it.
Definitely.
Cold and plain and kind of.
I got the new cloak.
Boring.
flourish.
You do a lot of and then
Darkwing Duck.
and run away.
So you get down to the bottom of the staircase as the discussion is ongoing about art, and there's just this velvet carpet that just leads off into, and it kind of, there's a perfect stone walkway that's been crafted that leads from the tower. You can see that there are a couple other exits to this tower, but this is the guest exit, and it leads you to the front doors of this resort. Again, a lot of marble, a lot of really cool, they've got the white marble with that kind of gold inlay that what do they call it, the style where they break something and then they fix it with
kintsugi.
gold. Yeah, kintsugi. They've got kintsugi art, basically architecture everywhere. And he leads you up to the door and he goes, "Welcome to the Ruby Oasis." And it opens up and just, it is just,
It's enchanted
it's
to
fancy
do.
as hell, yeah. It's fancy as everything that you've ever seen, plus
Like the doors
more.
in
It is. You feel incredibly underdressed just looking at it. Even if you were to look at it from afar, you would feel I should probably be wearing better clothes to be able to even see this.
I bet it smells amazing too.
It is there is a garden inside, so it smells like all of the best flowers.
Do you guys smell
It
that?
has the best flowers.
I smell inferiority. Is that you? Is that me? I'm not sure.
It smells pretty good.
Now, there
Smells
are
very good.
plenty of amenities. Obviously, the ground floor is for the spa area. You could feel free to get a massage. You can get pretty much anything.
Nobody can do justice like she can.
I guarantee you that we will beat whoever it is that gave you a massage before, my friend.
We'll have to test that out.
We do suggest that you don't wear armor or weaponry while you're here. Unfortunately, this is an establishment of finer things, not of combat. And I do understand that there are those that may be a little bit opposed to that, but it's sort of a comfort thing. You're supposed to feel at home here rather than feel like you need to protect yourself.
We have religious exemption, I think. Armor kind of is our religion.
I'm afraid I don't have anything else to wear.
Oh, we will provide you with whatever you'd like.
Just want us walking around naked? We can do that.
If you would like,
Hold
there are
on.
areas just off to the beach over there.
Behind the hedgerows.
Behind the hedgerows, yes, exactly.
Institutions is
Yep.
a real thing. The
Uh,
tushies.
The Tushians. The Tushians.
Ezra founded that branch, remember?
I was little.
When he was a
I'm,
small
It was a
boy.
different
I'm
time.
unable to remove the armor as magically bonded.
Of course, and we understand if there are extenuating circumstances. But if at all possible, if you feel comfortable, feel free to relax. That's what you're here for, after all.
I feel like the DM is saying, lower your AC so I can stab you.
Can I do an insight check on you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Inside check on the DM.
That's my plus.
I want to assassinate you.
Insight.
I just think
Minus
of
1. 15.
Accio.
I seem genuine. I don't know what to
have PTSD from when I went to a stranger in the bar and was like, hey, stranger, and he's like, ah!
No.
So,
Yeah, I have ruined
Sticking
the trust of
business.
this.
Yeah, Sarah just
Wait,
like armor off.
Yeah.
And she's got clothes on underneath.
Yeah.
And she just takes Craggy and just turns him into actually the collar.
Oh, nice.
And she just like puts it on. She's like,
Oh, you guys.
I'm ready to
sort
enjoy
of,
myself.
You sort of match now.
Right.
Victor has a set of fine clothes, but the fine clothes have like small, not holsters, but like small areas to
Conceal the knife.
to have the knife just sitting
Yeah.
on.
And then as you you can just leave your
Yes.
armor on the floor, and Chauncey
Someone will
snaps
get
his
this,
fingers.
right?
And somebody's already there are a couple gnomes that are picking it up.
Alright, alright.
I
And I'll
need you to
start
remember,
unbuckling
don't
everything.
put the lights with the darks. If you go and put the bleach in there and it comes back and my black cloak is now white, I might kill all of you.
I assure you, we have the best hand washers.
I just
possible.
bought this cloak. I am broke.
Yeah, I think
You didn't buy the cloak.
I love how
I didn't even buy the
you're at the ritziest place you've ever been, and you're like, I am broke.
I am beyond broke. I want you to understand. It's my
Look.
only thing.
you're putting this on your Ruby Oasis card.
Yeah.
So you leave this kind of entrance atrium into the actual resort, which is this large kind of complex inside. There's the outside walls that make it look like a giant mansion, but inside there's a lot of smaller buildings with different amenities. There's this large kind of park that surrounds the Oasis itself that kind of gives it its name. Off in the distance, you see a few nobles here. They're all wearing very fancy clothes, just relaxing, seeming to enjoy whatever high life nobles enjoy. I don't know, I'm not a noble. But you do see one person of note, and it is a dwarven woman, and she's walking around in kind of the same clothing that everybody else is wearing, except for hers has a lot more gold chains hanging from it, and she's chatting with a few people quietly. And Chauncey goes, over there is Ruby herself. She is available if you wish to speak with her, if you see her in the halls. Technically, she doesn't take meetings, so it's just more of a catch her when you can, as it were, if you wish to say hi.
Sarah, did you see the drip on that dame?
Did you turn into a gangster? What just happened?
I'm
Welcome
afraid.
to the 1920s.
It's the outfit. It changes. You
You
know?
lose the armor and it goes all fly.
No, I can't say I noticed any drip.
No, I only had 2 drinks, I promise.
And then Chauncey leads you over to an area right next to the Oasis beach itself, and there are 5 separate. They look like huts, like your kind of standard
Cabanas?
cabana huts.
Oh, cool.
Yep. And he goes, "These 5 are yours. Feel free to take whichever one you love."
Oh,
Wow.
Already enjoying yourself, I see.
what do you
I know that
What
song.
do you do? Do you just sit here? That's gonna be weird.
But if you can sit here, there are various sports that you can attend to. We do have the spa. There is an archery range.
I'm just
If you'd like.
imagining Ezra's
we
walking
just
around
sit
and doing
here?
the typical old guy putting his hands behind his back,
just
looking
standing
at
at
things.
everything.
What do I do? What do I do? Yeah, it's true. Most of you probably have never had a proper 20th century vacation before. None of your characters have. So this might be a bit odd to most of you.
Yeah, Sarah's just gonna relax in the cabana.
Sari feels at home, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Maybe go for a swim.
As you enter into your cabana, it is very similar to the room that you had in Six Hills.
Oh.
Basically, it is a
Turns
magical
into-
room that turns into.
Oh yeah, forested canopy.
Yep.
For me.
Yep. Look, you can almost hear the sounds of not only birds chirping, but maybe a little bit of echoes from deep underground as well. Because Sari probably has adapted a little bit to hearing the sounds of Malakoth City. So yeah, it's a nice, and that's the same thing for each of you. Obviously, Ezra's probably looks a little bit different than the Six Hills one because he was a wizard back then.
I know. I think when I walk in, it's still a library.
Okay.
But it's the books, instead of being arcane books, it's strategies of war, and
Archer's
things like that.
Weekly.
But it's still
Yeah.
like I think it's still a
Archer's
library.
Okay.
So I'll go in and like and start reading
Bows and
whatever
arrow.
their version of Art of
Artificer
War is.
Illustrated swimsuit edition.
That's what's on the inside. The cover on the outside is like the Art of War, and then it's just naked ladies.
It's just with bows and arrows.
Yeah, with those arrows.
Posing with
Suggestively, like
Mhm.
arrows like this.
Strategically placed.
Strategically placed arrows.
Yeah.
Look at that arbalest.
Oh, boy.
Anyhow, sorry, I
Ezra's
suggested
dad
that.
is very disappointed in him now.
That's on you.
It's completely on me.
Um,
Eve
Yeah, no, that's not what's in there.
will, yes, I guess, get rid of her armor.
Okay.
For the time being.
Yeah,
Eve
there
just
are-
has the shirtless guy from the other ring hammering away.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all it
That's
is.
what-
That's what the room is.
Yeah.
Hey, you know they fell on hard times. It's like those firefighter calendars that they make. They make.
Chauncey does say before, like, sending you off to your banner that he can send a tailor over if you'd want for a personalized outfit.
I suppose.
So you can go ahead and design whatever fancy clothes, like the fanciest clothes that you want for Eve to have, like as fancy as she want or as simple as she want. That's up to you.
Sweatpants.
But they'll make it for you. Like the tailor
Watch
will be
on the butt.
literally. So it's an axe totally, and like while two hands are measuring you, the other two are like stitching the clothes together in such fine fashion that it's almost a blur.
Sounds awesome.
Does one of them have black and white hair?
The axe totally.
And her name is
Cruella.
Cruella. House
Dog.
Baroness.
Traditionally, they
is
don't
what
have
all of the
hair.
clothing-
but,
Darling, I have this wonderful bound outfit. You'll love it.
No, her name is Edna. So
No capes.
yeah, yeah. Take off that stupid cloak.
No capes.
Elaruk,
Farouk.
like Cruella back.
Yep. Does anything change with anybody else's room?
Bolt's room is just going to be not actually a workshop this time. It's just going to be a big, comfy chair with lots of different like jars all over the table,
Jars?
full of different smells. I love smelling stuff.
It was
so.
smell
Please, they're
room.
not body parts or
Fresh painted buttress.
There's a lot of buttresses.
Oh, yeah.
around.
Yeah,
Even though it doesn't
it's
really.
ringed with buttresses. Yep.
no.
The chair itself has a bunch of tiny buttresses under each like arm.
I don't know whose room is more sexual.
I know.
I don't know.
But
Sorry,
Bolt
what's
actually
yours have?
asked
Chains.
Chauncey
trees.
Trees.
to make a set of clothing for him.
Absolutely, but I'm sure that would be a wonderful
So,
experience for any of our teams.
I was thinking of doing like one of those super
doublet with the big frill.
No, those super regal like you see in a painting where like a king's like doing this, and you see like the shoulders with the tassel things
Yep.
on them and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, full on one of that, and even a
Admiral
monocle.
Bolt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just imagined you wearing the guy from Cinderella, Disney's
I'm wearing the guy.
in the blue, the little blue with the
That's
sash.
exactly
Yeah.
what I thought. Yeah,
Yeah.
the
he has a
major
monocle.
domo or
Yes.
yeah.
Sari would have.
Which one is that? I need to look
Are
that
you
up.
meaning to say
He's got
that
the
you're walking
mustache
around
and
naked
everything.
all the time?
He does have a monocle
No, he
that
has armor.
pops out of it.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
But he can't take it off, so he's putting clothes on over the
Well,
armor.
if we're all getting our
If he takes it
clothing
off,
made,
then the armor makes him naked.
absolutely.
He's unarmored defense. He's a barbarian.
What were you saying?
Oh, I was just gonna say Sari would have them make her something that you'd see maybe in like an elven court. So something like a very elegant gown that was like very sort of, I don't know, flowy. I'm thinking like Galadriel in Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
Pretty.
Which would be surprising probably for people to see her in something so
Where's your pants?
feminine.
I mean, we saw you make Craggy into a skirt, and that was shocking.
This is doubly shocking. At least
Yeah.
Craggy isn't the skirt this time.
Craggy, remember this design.
Yeah. Eve is wearing it's green, but it has like gold trim, and it's almost like a Grecian toga type thing, but it kind of it's kind of like a dress, kind of goes down the back, but she has pants underneath
Okay, cool.
because
Yeah.
she's
Practical
not
and-
quite into the dress
Yeah.
yet.
Okay, I like it. Victor, what about you? Are you getting what? I guess you have your own fancy
I
clothes.
mean, it
if you
has.
like.
I have like it'd basically be the like ceremonial stuff. So I'd probably ask him to make something a little bit more comfortable, less like formal. But with the same kind of designs, like showing him like
It needs to have the pockets right here, so if if I need to sharpen my blade or whatever, I can, throw it down.
I mean, the point is not to have blades on you, but I understand. Like, it's if that's what you want, so.
It is for religious purposes.
Right. What about Ezra?
Probably do like a kimono, I think.
Yeah.
But pretty plain, like not a lot of design to it. Maybe just like black and white.
I think it's like a very pale blue.
And then Bolt looks
Didn't realize
the
this was
very
going to be
model
like
of a modern major general.
The wardrobe.
Yes, Bolt feels very fancy.
What's the word?
Yes.
I'm looking for?
Is it in the same like
The
blue
clothing
and white,
design episode.
What do you
like
want
it.
to do?
Yeah, no, it's dark blue, but it has like a little bit of gold trim and stuff. Yeah.
I'm calling your outfit the Major General.
So you all you spend some time with the tailor. They get the suits, the outfits made for you, and I think it's one of those fun moments in movies where everybody steps out of their room at the same time and immediately starts looking left to right and like what the heck? It quickly devolves into
Just
just
start
a staring
laughing at
contest.
Sari, but then kind of like maybe I don't know.
Eldritch Blast Ezra.
what happened to your eye?
Is that real or is that?
I mean, I'll just right over his shoulder.
Hit the wall.
You don't. As you cast your spell, nothing happens.
I'm like, you're lucky. I don't know what's blocking my
I
magic.
try to just create a little firebolt.
Yeah, nothing.
I don't like this. We've let our guard down, and now
take
we're getting
Shadow
Which
Song out and
seems
try
to
and
be
get
some
it to
sort
float.
of
Shadow Song does not
magic
float.
suppression.
Is Darian here?
Darian is still here.
Walks into the room. It's a
He's also in a dress. It's very lovely.
I don't feel so good, Eve.
Chauncey did ask if Darian would feel more comfortable in the stables. But if you wish to have him here, that is fine as well.
He must be here.
He needs to have his own outfit too.
Do you totally embrace the
absolutely.
rich purpose? You're like, how dare you? Good
Dare you, sir?
Darian looks like the White Rabbit from Alice in Wonderland.
He's so
He's got
cute.
He's got the
he
ruffles.
gets the frill. Yeah,
Pocket
he gets the
watch.
ruffles.
I'm
Yeah.
late. I'm
Yeah.
late. For a
Pocket
very
watch in
important
his pouch.
Sarah,
But it's like a
you
big
look
old gangster
beautiful.
pocket watch.
Hanging off of his new collar.
Anime, heart eyes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Evie. I'm glad that you can appreciate it, unlike some of our friends.
I appreciate it. You just shot me after, or tried to.
I'd say you look nice, but I can't say you. So you sound nice.
Thank you. You all look lovely as well, especially Eve.
Thank you.
Something that I haven't mentioned, by the way, is I think Sari has started to.
Sorry, do you want to lean forward a little bit for the mic?
I think Sari has started to let the shaved side of her head start to grow in.
Okay.
She kind of stopped shaving it.
Mhm.
Probably back around the time when Clan Fallowshield offered her a place among them.
Okay.
So I mean, it's probably in that kind of ugly phase right now, where it's a little too long. She's not quite sure what to do with it.
Somebody cast a restoration spell, quick.
But I think she's decided to not that she's leaving the Vanguard necessarily, but that she's kind of not as attached to that aspect of her appearance as she used to be, for what it's worth.
Okay. All right. So you guys kind of are standing around talking a little bit. Chauncey comes up, noticing that you're all out and about. He says, "Is there anything that I can provide you? Are you curious for dinner? Would you like to go see tonight's entertainment?"
All of the above.
And a tour of your shipping district. He's very interested in distribution.
Yes.
Oh yes, of course. I can have someone to take you to the shipping area. It is a bit. I mean, it's not dangerous. It's just there's a lot of moving pieces. I'm sure that wouldn't be a problem for one such as you.
I can handle myself. Thank you.
And then the rest of you, I want you to know that tonight the Damascus Promenade does arrive in the Ruby Oasis. Shortly after the evening's entertainment, they should be arriving and finishing setting up, as it were. So if you have a little bit of pocket change and want to go have some fun, there is always that as well. But first, dinner?
Absolutely. Chauncey, does no one's magic work here?
Yes. Inside the building...
Not that we use magic because it's outlawed by the Arcanum.
Well, I mean, not all magic is outlawed by the Arcanum. Okay. It's all right. We understand.
Isn't some...
I mean, chronergy, obviously.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Necromancy.
That part.
Necromancy is frowned upon. It's not necessarily outlawed.
But magic.
Yes, there is an anti-magic field within the facility as well. There's a certain attunement that you can attune to, hence why all of your cabanas still show you the specific magical area that is most comfortable to you. But we don't hand out that. It's not like a Wi-Fi password.
It's not free Wi-Fi.
Yeah, there's no free Wi-Fi. So unfortunately, no magic is usable inside here. Anything that is summoned outside, and he gives you a little wink, and brought in is still available to be seen. They don't disappear or anything like that. But it is mostly. It's very difficult to maintain. I'll tell you that much. And he's saying all this as he's like leading you through the paths and everything. Past like there's actually some of those. What's the word? Those Zen gardens that a few people are raking through slowly. One very slowly. He's a turtle after all. And he kind of leads you into this pavilion tent that is just out. There's just food laid out all along the table. And he said, "Here is your meal for the evening." There's a lot of like really good stuff. It's as you like start tasting a few of like the little treats and everything. It's not quite Einar's level. We can't get her here that often, unfortunately. But it is very tasty food.
If this were real life, I would ask Colby what to eat. So instead, Eve will ask Sari, what should I have?
I'm sort of in the mood for some lunaberry bread pudding.
Yes.
There is lunaberry bread pudding.
Bolts, look, they have peppers, very spicy.
They have peppers that have multiple colors, like in stripe formation.
I would like to sample the spiciest items you have on hand.
It breaks through whatever barrier like prevents you from tasting spice and feeling spice. It is so spicy.
That's why I like it.
Spicy.
Take 1 point of damage. 1 point of damage.
1 point of fire
And a
damage.
point of exhaustion.
Yeah.
No, that comes later.
What about Ezra and Victor?
I don't know. Whatever smells best.
Okay.
I'd probably gravitate to the liquor.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a vacation.
Top
So
shelf only.
you're sitting down, you're eating a nice meal, and one of the walls of the pavilion pulls back as a couple servants pull them back to reveal the shifting sands beyond, which is this large desert in the northwestern part of the continent, or of the world itself. It's the northwestern continent, I guess. I guess you can call them continents.
Just split by water.
And Chauncey said, now, before the entertainment begins, I want to assure you that everything is under control, so you don't have to worry about anything. Just enjoy and don't think that anything is going wrong. And he steps off to the side.
Sounds ominous.
And you can see a lone man kind of steps out onto the dunes, and he unscrews this large jar, and he just starts pouring spice onto the ground, and it's just this kind of glittery spice. And just about as he's done emptying the jar, there's kind of this rumble that starts shaking the food a little bit. Not enough to make anything fall off, of course. It looks
Spice
like
is life.
Magically enchanted. And he does, like, the guy does kind of hastily run away. Like, he's trying to keep that same servant propriety, but he's also looked like he's panically trying to like run from whatever it is he's just summoned.
Shai-Halud.
And it
Purple
is
worm?
a giant purple worm that bursts out of the ground
Oh no.
and into the sky, and you can hear a lot of like gasps from the other pavilions and applause as like a couple dragonborn and Goliaths and everything start going up, and they start like wrapping ropes around it to try and like wrangle it and everything. And as they do, like as they get the ropes around it, the worm starts like swinging its head, and not the Goliaths, but these thinner, more acrobatic elves and stuff start using that to swing around on and do these dazzling displays. They start like launching from one rope and catching each other and everything, and it is this beautiful, it's almost like a Cirque du Soleil show, or Cirque du Soleil, but with a purple worm involved. So, and the worm just apparently like seems to be like just kind of swaying back and forth as soon as it starts bursting out. Whatever was in that jar is kind of keeping it not docile, but mesmerized enough that it's not physically attacking anything.
We don't do that.
See the spiders.
The big spiders.
Yeah.
This is the LSD one.
Yeah. And it's a glorious night of entertainment. And and I think that is probably that's not where we're going to end it, but that is where that evening ends. Like there is no sudden attack that happens or anything. There's no cruel DM shenanigans that go on. But you do enjoy a very nice night watching a purple worm acrobatics show.
On the DM screen, it pops up and says, "Victor will remember this."
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Thank you. That's 1 point. One positive reputation for
Plus
Victor.
1 paragon.
Yeah. But then afterwards, you guys can settle in for the evening. The tour guide comes over and asks Bolt when he wants to go see the shipping district.
But as soon as possible.
Of course, we can head out now if you'd like, sir.
So, does anyone want to come with?
I think we probably
we all should.
Yeah, I don't want to abandon you to get jumped by the infinite sight.
I might need a distraction if I need to investigate and try to find out.
All right.
I don't say any of this in front of
Of course
her.
not,
This
yeah.
is all, like, maybe we discussed this
I
beforehand.
feel like Chauncey would be kind of cool with it.
I mean, to be fair, anytime like you're not actively addressing a servant, they look for all the world like they're not listening to anything. Whether or not they actually hear something, they wouldn't tell. But so everybody gears up again, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going there without armor.
Right.
It's too risky.
Yeah, I do put my fancy clothes in the bag of holding.
Okay. Alrighty, so you guys head out. He starts giving you a tour. There's only like 2 or 3 different warehouses around here. You can see a small dock. You can see the greatest treasure has left for the evening. Kes is off to some unknown adventure. I know. No, I don't.
No.
But there's only like one airship at the dock that seems to be there for the evening. Again, it's another pleasure barge. They're this one inlaid with as much gold as it can without falling from the sky. And there's no docks, or there are docks. There's no boats at the docks. Is what I'm trying to say. Ships, whatever. So yeah, I mean, how would you like to handle this?
So, I mean, are we under supervision the whole time, I assume?
I mean, the tour guide is like being like, and this is the A dock, or the A warehouse, this is the B warehouse, this is the C one. So he's not taking you inside to see them all. Obviously, he thinks it's a rather weird request, but he's not going to say anything.
I want to try casting a spell.
Okay.
Sleep.
Well, no, I was gonna try to use my Song of the Unseen.
Okay. Yeah, so you start, singing about forgetting you.
Mm-hmm.
And it does take effect. You're outside of the
Right.
resort itself, so the
Okay.
anti-magic field is no longer in effect. And shortly enough, everybody roll me a wisdom save. All right.
I failed.
Oh, yeah, so what did you roll? Eve?
It failed because it has to be 15.
Yeah, 15.
Yeah.
Okay, Victor?
I rolled 13 with perception.
Wisdom.
Wisdom.
Yeah, I was
Yep.
at 13.
Oh,
21.
21?
wisdom save. Wait. No, I did. I passed, but for saves, what does my aura do?
Oh,
Oh, it is a
+4
+4. Mhm.
Yeah.
to all allies.
So everybody gets a +4
Oh.
on the saving throw.
Succeed.
Okay. And
17 then.
17, yeah. So you all watch, or you all watch Sarah kind of just start walking away as she's singing, and you can even focusing on her, you can see her kind of shifting around, almost as if she's a mirage in this oasis. And the other guy just the tour guide just kind of continues on his way. He turns around and he goes, and then just keeps explaining how the shipping, how most of the shipping comes from across the river, where a small townstead basically develops a lot of the produce that the Ruby Oasis uses. It's all funded by Ruby and the business here, and basically it's this small little boom town that's cropped up because of the Oasis itself. So where are you heading?
Yeah, I'm just going to the nearest warehouse, whichever one's closest.
Okay, that would be probably Warehouse C.
Okay.
So you can go in there. Go
Warehouse
ahead and give
13.
me Warehouse 13. Give me an investigation check.
Okay. I'm gonna use my inspiration on that. Natural 20.
Okay.
+3.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's actually you start looking through boxes, and it wasn't you who discovered the actual
Yeah,
address.
I was
It was
with.
Ezra.
Oh, I thought that we were together.
Ezra was the one who spotted it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Ezra told you about the little, he told you about the address, and then he also told you about these 3 little wavy lines in one of the corners that have been kind of burned in. And you kind of look around a little bit, and you do end up finding some crates with these lines in them, and they're kind of sequestered off to the side.
Yeah.
And there's a large crate and several smaller ones in
Okay.
it, and they all are their from address is Big Town.
Big town.
Yep.
Okay. Any specific location in Big Town that might help me narrow it down?
Let's go ahead and say they are from the Poughkeepsie
Poughkeepsie
Shipping Company.
Okay. Poughkeepsie Shipping Company in Big Town.
Yep.
I want to pop one of them open.
Okay. Are you going for one of the smaller crates, or are you going for the big one?
Smaller.
Okay. You open up the smaller crate, and you see several different things in there. There's a couple more of those cases that look like they carry potions in them. You see a few things of equipment. There's a couple. Mostly it's mining equipment.
Mm.
It looks like that they've been trying to ship it out somewhere. You see that the 2 address is actually a town called
Look on your map. You have a map.
no, I'm trying to think of the town's name because it's not on the map.
Oh.
It's called Morris Bend.
Morris Bend.
And which is a town that you're not familiar with, or it's
Okay.
a place that you're not familiar
Okay.
with. Yeah.
I'm gonna pocket some of the potions,
Okay. Yeah, they're just standard healing potions in
Okay.
these ones.
and then I'm gonna pop open. So my spell lasts for 10 minutes.
Mhm.
So I want to try and get back to the group before it runs out.
Okay.
But if there's time, I'd like to maybe pop open one of the bigger ones too, and just see what's
Okay.
inside.
Yeah. So you can go ahead and pop open one of the big ones, and as you peel it back, you see that covered in all the straw is another one of those scarab guardians that doesn't appear to be active at the moment. It just kind of is sitting in there curled up.
Dang.
Tempted to attack it, but then I would die.
So maybe, reprogram it to protect us.
Yeah, if only I had some sort of knowledge about how those things might work. Yeah, I'll just kind of, gosh, I better write it down because I'm Sari. So she's gonna I don't know if I have a quill and a pen, but I'm I don't know. I'm just gonna be Big
Just
Town,
take a picture with your phone.
persnickety,
Just rip off the label. Or is it branded?
42
Or is it
Wallaby
labeled?
Way.
pistachios with yogurt. Yeah, I'll just try really hard to remember the names of the things, and then
And as the GM, so
thank you.
I wrote him down.
okay, good.
Poughkeepsie Shipping.
Yeah, and then I'm just gonna try and run back, and I'll try and put everything back together as best I can. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But and then
Craggy was a crowbar, by the
that's
way.
right. Yeah. Oh, for sure. She's just
Yeah. So go ahead and add 4 healing potions.
nice.
Nice.
Just in your search there, your quick search. And then you get back as everybody's kind of finishing up. Like, you have all been delaying and being like, oh, and what is that over there? And the tour guide is definitely getting a little like, okay, I understand that you're guests and this is, but I want to go to bed. Like, but then Sarah finally shows up and you all see him or her approach. Yeah, and he goes, is there anything else that I can, any other questions?
This has been the most fascinating tour. Thank you so much.
You're quite welcome.
I'm just Hermione in Harry Potter.
Yeah.
She's like, well, how long have you been here?
The whole time.
Yeah, I've been here the whole time. What are you talking about?
And he leads you back to the resort. And as soon as you guys are like back in the door, he's like, have a wonderful evening, and then he ducks away to go.
Right, well, that was most productive.
What did you find out?
I found some crates from the Infinite Site. They were shipped here from Big Town, from a shipping company that starts with a P and ends in a snickety.
Kipski?
Yes, thank you.
That's a natural 20 on a history check from Eve. You've heard of that shipping company before?
I use them all the time.
Kipski. And then some of the crates were being sent from here onto another town that starts with an M and ends in something else. What? Morris Bend, yes, Morris Bend. Which I've never heard of before. Yeah, right.
I mean, you could have turned Craggy into like a pen, a fountain pen, and written it down. Yeah.
For some reason, it only writes in blood.
There were healing potions. Who needs a healing potion? I've got several. I start passing them out. Everyone gets one.
Infinite sight. It's okay.
Healing
You got 4, right?
Yeah, but I already have a couple.
2. I'm good.
Oh, I've got a bunch.
I have 2.
All right, fine. I'll just keep them. And
Well, I'm just saying. I don't need one. If you guys
and
want
there was a lot of mining equipment for some reason.
The time crystals, perhaps. They're mining for them.
Maybe that's a good guess. But it would appear that our stay in the Ruby Oasis might not be very prolonged after all, unfortunately.
We should try and extend it. It is on Lady
But
Castor's dime.
you do
after
have
all.
that little side quest that you're supposed to do, and we were supposed to go to Big Town anyway, so that's very
I'm
convenient.
pretty sure at the bottom of the paper it says extra 100 XP or something. So we do want to make sure we get there.
And we should say hello
Talk
to
to-
Ruby herself.
Right,
Castor asked us
and
to
we
say
should-
You,
so.
Daffy, correct?
Make sure that we're well rested and
Spa day.
recuperated. Right, exactly. I could use a massage.
Spa.
Perhaps,
Me as well.
perhaps a facial.
Yes. We also.
All available.
Maybe they have to help with your growth.
Ah, yes, but she's like very
It makes it
self-conscious.
sound like she's
all
got
of
like
sudden.
a hump on her
do you need a doctor? what kind of growth is this?
Right. Perhaps some sort of hair tonic or something would be nice, actually.
You know what?
Totally just
You can get
I'm
that
so
from the
sorry.
Damascus Promenade. I'm sure they have that. Sounds like something they would sell.
That is like me to a T. I say the dumbest things sometimes, and I always make people uncomfortable. I just like say what comes to my mind. I'm like, wow, you look really handsome today. And they're like, aren't you a married woman? I'm like, I was just telling you that you look handsome. And I just make people uncomfortable.
Take a effing compliment, damn it.
Nothing wrong with being.
Can we get something to help with your growth?
Say that to a short person.
Yeah. So,
So it is an
Sure.
all hours spa if you
excellent.
want. Like there is like this whole place is designed basically to cater to your every whim.
I am going to the spa.
Yeah.
I'll tell you all the
Yes.
things I want right now
Okay.
in my own personal life.
Perfect. Yeah.
Is like, you know, they have those like chocolate baths that you can take.
no,
But you're gonna say like
Yeah, I know.
chocolate infused
Like actual chocolate?
with THC, but
Oh yeah, definitely. Like
sure, talk about
yeah. They will melt the chocolate for you up
I want one of those,
into a full bath.
but I want
so.
one of those like wraps where they like wrap your body up and like cover you in hot blankets and stuff.
I think you're just going to like a restaurant and they're trying to eat you.
They're turning you into like
Sarah's gonna get like
And
a
even a blanket.
Sarah's gonna get a honey coconut like full body scrub,
Oh yeah, ooh, that
and
sounds so
followed
nice.
by a massage.
Victor
Ezra
will get
wants
a full
some-
mani pedi.
I want something that smells like smoke and like gunpowder and like steel, like manly.
All of the Axe body spray brands.
Oh, Barb, please don't.
But like high end.
Yes.
All mixed
High
together in a
end
big pot.
axe. Yeah.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
He's got to smell like he's been, at the forge or something.
Bolt, you want a little buff? A little buffing?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
it's
Like
like
a
we've
full
just
on, like,
gone to the Emerald
The
City.
Tin Man, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's before the award ceremony where they clean up C-3PO. Like, a hot oil bath.
You're going to come out and be like, you probably don't recognize me
Stop.
because of my red arm.
My silver arm.
My eyes to match my gown. Jolly old town. Okay. This is so fantastic.
Yeah, it is, and the masseuses are, if you do get a masseuse or a massage, they are even better than Helga, which is saying something because her hands were magic.
I'm debating showing them the
Literal
coin
magic.
and asking if they know
They were
anything
magic.
about them.
Her hands got cut off as a child. She has little magic hands.
Save it. Save it for big
Tiny
time.
beauty magic.
Yeah, massage. That sounds so great. Dang.
I'll join you.
I have
We'll
a
just
special place in my heart for Helga, but you are doing really well. I don't know what her name is. Or his name.
It's a her, and she says, "Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't know who this Helga is, but
She's the greatest masseuse outside of the Ruby Oasis.
maybe we'll have to snatch her up."
and Victor's like a
She's
table
in
over, and he's
the-
got his head down. And he's like, she works at the House of Il Repute.
The jury lady.
I mean, some of us used to work there. That's nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah, Victor, why are you slut-shaming
So-
everyone?
Just you.
Never mind. I'll say what I want.
So you're thinking of the happy ending. Is that what you think about?
So,
Uh-oh.
so I will say that it is
now I am.
like
Sorry.
Victor and Ezra are getting massages right next to each other.
And like fighting the whole
It
time.
is-
It's not even
yeah.
relaxing.
It is one masseuse, and she does have magic hands. She's using mage hand on one of you. You get to
Oh,
pick
that's
which
awesome.
one. But it's just
Okay.
the mage hand, and we'll just say that it's two because I can
Yeah,
make
sure.
two mage hands. I'm the DM.
Or
it's
an astral self monk.
Yeah,
There you
exactly.
go.
Yeah,
Yep.
the arms
That's
that
two
come
extra
out,
arms.
So they've got arms and arms.
I had to kill so many kobolds to be able to go astral self and get the extra arms.
Listen, I got this knot. Can you go a little harder? And it's just like,
Yeah.
When they don't pay, she just stuns them.
that's right.
Sorry, I'm out of key points.
And in
all
reality,
monks.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I woke up and I'm out of key points.
when in reality, if they ever did if Victor went and had his own room, he'd just feel lonely if it was the thing. So in reality, it's he does it because he wants company,
Okay.
not out of true
But it's
spite.
it's definitely there's plenty of spite involved, but not actual spite.
Yeah.
And
It's like-
and Sarah
A good
now,
ribbon.
very self-conscious, is looking for some hair tonic. To help her. To help her
The
hair
quest.
grow.
So you wouldn't find.
terrible.
The quest for hair tonic. She's gonna come back and it's gonna like overgrow or something.
Yeah, so you wouldn't find any in the resort. Like obviously they're like, well, we can. You could check the promenade. Like obviously,
For like scalp stimulation
just because
or something.
that's not typically what we provide. We don't usually provide like restoration magic.
Sarah, I know a guy.
Oh no, you guys don't hear any of this. This is me being very discreet
Yeah.
with my masseuse.
Everyone thinks you're out looking for drugs, but you're just looking for...
You're doing your
Shady deals
song
with
of the
that.
unseen so that nobody else
Right,
like knows
exactly.
that you're searching for this.
But we succeed on our saves and know she's there.
Yep,
We're
just
just
like-
ignoring her.
We're just like,
Okay, all right,
okay.
Yeah, so pleasant evening all around. I think that is where we're going to call it tonight on a very good note. No surprise combats or anything. Everything's cool. And next time we'll get into probably a little bit with the Damascus Promenade. And then hopefully Big Town beyond that. And who knows what is in store.
Dragons.
Potentially dragons. But thank you everybody for joining us tonight. Hopefully you had a fun time, a relaxing time. Go get a massage. You deserve one.
Eat
And-
some chocolate.
Yeah.
Or
And
Not
that's,
even a
bathe,
blanket.
or bathe and
you deserve one if you like and subscribe.
If not, GTFO.
Yeah, if not, well, go
Yeah.
get a massage.
It's
I
just
can't really
prescribed.
tell you what to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, have a pleasant evening, and we'll catch you all next time.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys. See ya.
Catch you on the flippity flop.